Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei was cheated and became Red Dragon of Remnant Part 7. Before we start, please go support ZBX6779 for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. Part 17. The truth comes out. But Salem. Should this work, then I can take the relics without any problems. She stands above a grim pool while holding Issei's blood in a vial. She opens the cap, pours most of it into the black pools and drinks the last few drops. She grows dragon wings on her back. The pool was no longer a pool, but a solid black mass that gathered in the center, and what came out is a whale that can fly. It's massive. Back to the others. After seeing Osmond's past, they felt a little angry but calmed down since he's been telling the relevant truth. Ironwood. Salem is your ex-wife. Osmond. Yes. Raven. She killed your daughters. Osmond. I'll never forgive her for that or for what she did to countless lives. Winter. I'm sorry for your loss, Headmaster Osmond. Osmond. Thank you, I miss my daughters every day. Jin looked at Issei, who only shook his head. Issei. Don't. Jin. I'm sorry. Just before she starts, Cinder shows up and it begins. Jin shows everyone Issei's life and a lot of the DxD verse. He wanted to stop it, but if he used force he'll hurt the others. They see Issei as a perverted high school kid, pervy friends and average school life, getting asked out by Yuma Rainer, going on a date while secretly being followed by Kaneko, getting a summoning paper from Ria's familiar. This was her plan from the start. She and her peerage conspired against him from the start. On the date he acts like a decent person all the way, never said anything to upset her, and made sure Yuma was enjoying herself, only for her to show her true form and killing him, leaving him there to die. Ria showing up and bringing him back to life. Issei becoming her pawn, constant training from Ria's and her peerage, all while using his perverted nature to their advantage. They planned this, encountering Asia, forced to leave her at the church, getting impaled again by Rainer before she kidnapped Asia because of her gear. Issei disobeying Ria's orders to leave Asia to her fate, taking on fallen angels and freed. Rainer taking away Asia's gear and see her die before his eyes. Everyone could see the pain and hopelessness in his eyes, followed by rage. Using the boosted gear aka one of the Longinus that power to defeat gods, getting 2 more light spears impale his legs. Finally Ria's and the others show up and killed Rainer, reincarnating Asia. Then the Riser arc. Ria's tried to have her way with him so she wouldn't have marry Riser, and Issei's refusal to do anything to her unless it was out of love. Everyone watching can immediately tell that Issei is a guy with morals underneath the perversion. They see the tough training, the raiding game, the loss, Issei sacrificing his arm for power to defeat Riser and free Ria's, their kiss on the griffin, then came the Kakabial arc, reuniting with Arena, protecting Asia from the muscle-head Zenobia, the Holy Sword Project. Hiding Kakabial, seeing Vali appear for the first time aka the White Dragon Emperor. Helping Akeno accept herself as half-fallen and how she started to fall for him, how all the girls did little by little, the respect he earned. The peace conference, the magicians attacking, saving Gasper, Azazel killing a Leviathan descendant, Vali's betrayal and Issei using an incomplete balance breaker, merging the dividing gear which was more painful than the light spears. Kicking Vali's ass almost made him use the Juggernaut drive. Training with Tannen, the party in the underworld, saving Kaneko from her sister, unlocking balance breaker by unusual means, everyone watching deadpanned except for Crow. He laughed his feathers off, but he sympathizes with Issei. He lost Summer, while Issei lost Asia a few times, even once is too much. Then having to fight Loki and his mutts, getting bit by them and seeing how the girls in his team lost it. The guys were hellbent on taking Loki down for what he did, and if it wasn't for the Phoenix tier Ravel have him, then B wouldn't have survived. They see that he'll ignore facing death, come back from it to finish what he started, so no one else gets hurt. Wielding the hammer of Thor and stopping Loki. The raiding game against Diodora that turned into a trap after he kidnapped Asia. He saved Asia only to lose her again when Shalba sent her into the dimensional gap and going berserk. Seeing his power is frightening everyone watching including Jin and Ambrosius, Ironwood and Raven, regret asking Jin to show them who he really is, but they'll regret it even further very soon. After using the incomplete Juggernaut drive, Vali saving Asia, he used his Juggernaut drive to turn Issei back to normal before he killed himself and others. Issei sees that Asia is okay, everyone sees Office and Great Red make an appearance, Issei falling into a coma and using up 99% of his life force to the Juggernaut drive. Waking up thanks to Asia's help, they go back to their normal lives. That was until Loki created a fake Issei that took Ria's and made her fight the real Issei in the dimensional gap. It pained him to fight someone he loves, but was the only one who could. He saved her. Fast forward to going to Kyoto and how his school trip turned into a search and rescue mission for Yasaka, fighting the Chaos Brigade, once again going beyond his limits to save his team and to make sure Kano doesn't lose her mother. Unlocking his potential and taking them down, his confession to Ria's failing and how they all blamed him, but later a few realized why he failed to confess, it was because of Rainer. He overcame it with some understanding and support from his team, even though Kaneko, Kiba, Akeno and Rias are the ones who instilled that fear into him which they completely forgot. Issei confessed to Rias during the match against Serg and unlocked the Queen promotion. Taking on terrorists and sacred gear users, keeping his family safe and many others. He became less and less perverted and is more of a man than anyone in many ways. They saw how everything worked in the DxD world, the P system, the gears and everything else, then they finally get to the part where the girls cheated on him with his brothers by bond. How he was going to propose to all of them and not break their hearts, he loved them and they seduced him, then lied to him, the acceptance of polygamy only encouraged his feelings for the false lovers. He was going to make them happy, but to find that they all broke his heart 12x in an instant. The betrayal hurt him more than enough to make him leave everything behind, starting from his parents to whom he left all the money he made, friends to whom he apologized for his perverted ways in school, leaving the children who looked up to him. Only a video message, his deeds and few things to remember him by. They finally see that he's reached his limit when it comes to his self-control, using the dividing gear to suppress his emotions in order to keep everyone safe. He encountered Office, convinced her to leave the terrorists, and she in turn sent him to Remnant to heal and start fresh. They then saw Office annihilate the Chaos Brigade and sparing very few, the children miss him, statues erected with messages engraved saying that people wish him the best and miss him. Issei saw Arena nearly kill the 12 who hurt him, how 11 of them were locked up and only Asia was spared because of his wish, how Kuroko loved him as did Arena but never got the chance to confess. They and everyone miss him, the 11 being punished by Office and later forced to marry each other. Then a quick recap of his life in Remnant. Meeting Osborne, joining Beacon and meeting the two teams, how he looked away when John and Purr kissed because he saw a bit of himself in John, and how Purr looked a bit like Rias, it reminded him of times he kissed Rias. Then came the average days, taking down Grim, training together, laughing, his stories about his universe, the developments with Dust, the dance with Ruby under the moonlight, saving people in Beacon, traveling to Menagerie, the funny incident with Blake, living in Menagerie with her at her parents' house, and how she insisted she stay there instead of anywhere else. How he told her parents that he and Blake are friends and the sad look on her face is clear. A clear indicator that she wants him to stay close by. How she would peek at him when he's cooking, training the villagers or anything. His mysterious personality attracted her to him. Blake clearly has feelings for him. His sleepless nights and smoking a little to pass the time. Then came the attack on the Belladonnas, he helped subdue the assailants, the mission to get the relics, looking for Weiss and helped beat Raven, forced her to do the right thing, because Yang deserved answers and Remnant needed her, how he quickly planned a party for Yang with everyone's help, how she gave him a kiss on the cheek and sang with her. Letting her use him as a pillow, then battle in Mistral, how he crippled Tyrion so he can't take Ruby to Salem. The journey to Argus, the apathy Grim, reaching Argus, meeting John's family. How he looked at the wedding rings John's sisters wear and his conversation with Yang about how wedding rings are a bittersweet memory for him. His conversations with Drake which includes the talk about the dragon's full curse, they see him crying in his sleep, sleepless night when he didn't want nightmares or when he just couldn't, the nightmares included seeing the girls cheat on him with those 5 guys right in front of him and in his own bed, how they laughed, he even saw Rainer join them, and they berated him. The betrayals explained why Issei didn't reciprocate Yang's feelings, he's even more afraid of love than ever before. He tried to ignore them by trying to move on with his life. Going to Atlas, using common sense to find Salem, reducing her forces using the nukes, how Yang kissed him in the heat of the moment, how he had a panic attack as soon as he reached his dorm, the crystals growing on him which he immediately placed on the empty fields, cheering up Yang by making her the first person to see it, the video they made together made her very happy. Then came everything else, improving life for everyone, saving Robin and her crew, taking down Jacques, etc. He was starting to feel better. Jin decided to show that Raven and Ironwood took his phone and looked through it, listened to the voicemail the DxD girls left him, the photos and videos too. Everyone sees the day and time when the two took the phone, took the contents without permission and listened to the voicemail. They get the displeasure to hear the voicemails the DxD girls sent. Issei still couldn't move to stop it. The anesthesia still hasn't worn off. Rias. Issei, please pick up the phone, it was a drunken mistake, we never meant it to happen. You're the only one I'm in love with, you saved us again and again, and loved us who we are, you loved me for who I am. You overcame your fear for me, sniff, please, I'm sorry, I love you, and only you, you're my soulmate. Roswis. Issei, please come home, we're sorry, we'll make it up to you, anything you want. You're the only one for me. Please pick up. Ravel. I don't know where to even begin apologizing, but I'll do anything to make it up to you. I love you. Asia. Issei, please don't leave, we will marry you and only you. We'll have a big family and everything. Kaneko. Sniff, Issei, please come back, where are you? We can talk about it, it's not what you think. Zenobia. Issei, I know I'm a goofball, but you always loved me, and I know I hurt you, but I'll do anything to make it right. Just talk to us. Akeno. My love, I beg you from the bottom of my heart, please come home to us. I know we hurt you, so we'll accept any punishment you see fit. Sniff please. Tibba. Bro, it's me, where are you? Let's talk this over. Asper. Big brother please, I didn't mean for this to happen. Riser. Issei, I know we never got along at first, but I did one of the worst things I could do to you. I'm not going to deny it anymore. You're a good friend and I betrayed your trust, please let me know how I can make things right. Ravel misses you, and you're the only person who she'll ever love. I wish for us to be brothers-in-law. Do call me Serg. I know I have no right to do call you after betraying your trust. To say you never once did anything wrong by me and always went above and beyond. You're the first to best me in a fight through sheer will and strength. You're one of a kind friend and more of a man than I ever could be. Saji. Bro, it's me. Look, I know we bucked up, but please talk to us. Everyone is out there looking for you. Blame me, don't blame them. You deserve better. You've went toe to toe with gods and lived. This is nothing in comparison. There were even more messages which he heard. Issei's mind is messed up, he's trying his best to control his rage, all those memories, those feelings are resurfacing along with finding out things he never knew before. All those negative feelings deep down are why Grim come for him, that's how the hound kept getting stronger, it was feeding off of his negative emotions and everyone else's. The visual show ends. Everyone is stunned silent, Issei manages to slowly stand up and all eyes fall on him. They can't see his eyes as his hair casts a shadow on them and they all have their own thoughts and feelings about everything. Crow. Kid, how are you still sane? What they did, that's just sick. Raven. Issei, you went from weakest to strongest so quickly. Fighting gods makes us look like we're nothing in comparison. Cinder. Issei, you endured all that pain. You were a literal pawn, you were used too, you weren't just making it up. Oh gods. Tai. Salem killed my wife, she killed her own children, Ruby lost her mother because of her, and Issei, you're just a boy turned into a man and went beyond. You did more than those immortals ever did. Winter. Such powerful beings, even one of them could kill us all without a second thought. He's befriended so many of them. Ren. Murdered because of something he didn't know about or had any choice in yet, he accepted his second life only to get hurt again and again. Nora. All his stories are real, he was giving us a view into his universe, this from the start. Hera. Rhea, she knew about Raynor and let her kill him so she could use him like a slave, manipulated him. She and the others have no right to do what they did. John. That's why he was so hellbent on me getting stronger, he didn't want me to lose someone I love, like how he lost Asia over and over again. What the actual buck. Weiss. A pervert turned hero, the children love him. He had money, power, but didn't abuse it, but he saw that I did it first and helped me become better. I had the same arrogance as Riser, no wonder he hated me at first. I would have too. Blake. They think they deserve his love. He deserves better. Ruby. They caused his suffering, they really are devils, they're going to pay. Yang. No god is going to be able to put them back together once I get my hands on them. Penny. I now know what rage is, they should pray that we do not find them. Winter. Salem killed her own children and Issei, you're from another universe. Ospin. So the multiverse is real. Ironwood. I have no words. Crow. Issei, you okay? Issei. Sniff off head. He. Ha 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 ha. This is a joke, right? Jin, you're just messing with me, it's some sort of twisted joke, I'll let it slide if it is. Jin. It's not a joke, I always show reality as it is. Issei. Ha 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 ha. They all became unnerved by his sad laugh. He pulled out his cigarette, put it in his mouth and lit it with shaking hands. He smoked the whole thing in 2 breaths, he took out another and smoked it in the same fashion. He smoked another and another and another, he laughed in between, then they could have sworn that they saw him cry a little too. The ground was littered with ash and cigarette butts, it was painful seeing him like this. Ironwood. Issei, I'm so sorry. I hope you understand why I did what I did. You just showed up out of nowhere and displaying level of power never seen before. I was just doing what I needed to for Remnant. Raven. I owe you an apology, Issei, I'm sore. Raven couldn't even finish her sentence when he seemingly teleports to them and grabs them by the necks. He lifts them up effortlessly and is chalking them. Crow. Raven. Winter. General. Issei. Did you do this to get back at me? Because I broke your fragile egos. Boost. Divide. Boost. Yang. Issei. Ren. You have to stop, you'll kill them. Issei only lets out a growl, more scales grow on his body, both of his hands are now claws, his fangs grow sharper. He can feel a pain in his lower back and in his head. They can even see him increasing in size. Boost. Divide. The two are starting to turn blue, Tai activated his semblance, and everyone immediately backed away. He went in for a strike and landed a kick on Issei's face, but to his and everyone's shock, Issei's head only moved a bit to the side. He looked at Tai with fury, then back to the two who are starting to black out. Boost. Yang. Issei, please stop, you're killing my mother. Ospin. Let James explain, killing him won't solve the problem. Divide. He lets out a loud roar and tosses the two and takes out his swords. The two inhale sharply and cough really hard. Issei starts to walk over to them when Yang and Ruby grab his arms and try to hold him back, but he just drags them along. Boost boost, Ruby. Issei, please calm down. I know you're angry and you have every right to be, but killing them won't do any good. Tai. Listen to her, don't take your anger out on them, the people in our universe should suffer. Issei, please, you're scaring everyone including my daughters, they love the kind and strong man you are, but this anger you hold is going to consume you, don't let the man my daughters love die. Ruby. You knew. Tai. Of course, a dad knows these things. I'm happy you two picked a good man. Issei continues to press forward. The others pile up and try to stop him, but he's barely slowing down. Greg. Partner, listen to Ruby, the people need us and we can deal with these two later. You have to control yourself, your powers are becoming unstable. Issei. Growls. Boost boost. Yang and Ruby see that his anger is accelerating his transformation. They try to siphon off some of the energy, hoping that he will lose some of his insane strength. They use their aura and they can feel the power of an angry dragon flow into them. Issei reached the two and raised his sword. Divide divide boost divide boost divide. His power is in a constant state of flux. Crow. Don't do it, kid. Weiss. No. Penny. Please retrain yourself. Yang. Don't kill my mother, I can't lose her again or you. Dust crystals are growing out of him. With a burst of energy everyone is forced off of him. Ironwood and Raven can't move as they are paralyzed from fear. Now they truly regret pissing him off. The memories he doesn't want, the voices he never wanted to hear again, were brought back because of these two and they are playing repeatedly in his mind. He was about to kill them when he suddenly felt a sharp pain in his chest. He dropped his sword and backs away. He's breathing heavily, his eyes are wide open and he's clawing at his chest. Tai and Penny get the two fools away from him. Crow. Kid. John. Issei, what's happening to you? They see him tearing off his shirt and see that he's completely covered in scales. His eyes look like a dragon's. His feet turned into talons and a tail is growing out of his lower back. He's losing it. He fell onto his knees and groaned from the pain as it shoots throughout his body. Some of his red scales are starting to fade. Blake. What's happening? Jin. I'll answer, and this doesn't count as the third question. The bottled up emotions are resurfacing and all of that is accelerating his transformation at the rate you see before you. The curse is already taking hold. Weiss. You knew this would happen, then you shouldn't have shown us, especially him, all those memories. He didn't need that. Jin. I know, but I'm bound by the rules. I must answer the questions truthfully. Forgive me. Nora. Issei, it's not your fault. Hura. They manipulated you, they aren't worthy of your kindness. Justice has been served. Ren. They can't hurt you anymore. Divide boost boost divide boost divide boost 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 divide boost divide boost 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 divide 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 boost boost divide. Those two words echo. He's unstable. Drake is dividing his power while Issei's anger brings it out. The power is flowing out, lightning shoots out of him, ice freezes the ground he steps on, each exhale is a fire breath. Everyone has to back away. Issei. Why? He uttered one word with a low broken voice. Ruby. It's okay, they got what they deserve, and that's losing the best thing that ever happened to them, and we got the best person throughout the multiverse with us, and that's you. You can be happy again. Yang. You're safe, Issei, you'll heal and we're with you every step of the way. Us dragons gotta stick together. We won't treat you like that did, we love you for who you are. His power is still increasing gradually, he can feel the rage slowly take over. They can see the physical effort he's putting in to control and suppress his rage. Issei. Make it stop, Drake. Divide 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 divide. His powers are under control for a minute before it starts to gradually increase. Issei. You all saw my old self, I never wanted any of you to see my shame, why couldn't you two just leave it alone? I was putting it all behind me, I was finally starting to feel happy again, why? If you wanted to stab me in the back then take my swords and stab me, go ahead and run me through or just shoot me right in my face. Show some honor instead of stabbing me in the bucking back, I could at least respected your honesty. Sniff. Ironwood. Issei, I apologize, I let my foolishness get the better of me when I should have known to never doubt you after everything you did for Remnant. I should have just honored our agreement, you only asked for space, and I invaded it. It's my sin and I'll bear the consequences. I persuaded Raven to take your phone. Raven. No, I made the choice to do so. You helped me reconnect with my family and I made you relive those horrible memories, I'm sorry. Issei is getting really pissed off as the man he trusted betrayed his trust after everything he'd done. He was about to tear them a new one when he held his head in pain and glowing green orbs come out of the gear. Greg. No. Voices are coming from the orbs. The time has come. Make them pay. Use the anger. Issei. Shut up. Divide. The spheres disappeared. Issei is taking deep breaths to try and calm himself. His entire body hurts from trying to hold his emotions back. Yang and Ruby hug him. Yang. Let it out, you're hurting yourself only more by holding it in. Ruby. You're no less of a man. You've been too strong for too long, it's okay. Issei. Ria, she made Kaneko follow me, she knew I was a target, she knew Asia was a target, she used me. Used us. It's been her plan all along, the woman I truly loved, her who she was, I wanted to spend my life with her, the four of them planned this. I could have lived without knowing that. Did they ever love me? Of course not, why would they? Sniff. I was a tool to them from the start, I renounced them and they still find ways to hurt me. Does the betrayal ever stop? Green orbs come out of Issei once more and voices are heard loud and clearly. Unleash your anger. They used you, you deserve to get revenge. You have surpassed the juggernaut drive, you can't be stopped. You're the dragon of domination. They should see true power. Issei. Shut up. Kill them, seal their fates. Kill them, Issei. I said shut up. Boost 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 boost. Issei is trying his best to control himself, but his anger is too great. Little by little the armor is manifesting, starting with his left arm. Greg. Everyone get back. Ruby. We're not afraid of you, we're afraid of losing you. Yang. Don't give in to the anger, you never let it consume you before, so don't let your demons win. Issei. They killed me and used me as slave, I should make them suffer. Boost 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 boost. His full armor appears by the influence of his rage alone. He sees everyone except for a few who are terrified of him. He can still hear Rainer's, Ria's, and the voices of the other girls in his head. He can feel himself losing control and does the only thing he can. He blasts a hole in the wall and the open sky is visible. Issei. I can't stay here, I'm sorry. Hi. No, Winter. Issei. They see the thrusters on his back ignite and he flies away. His power and rage is so great that every Grimm throughout Remnant can feel it and are affected by it. Even Salem reacts to it. The Salem. Such power, mine, ha 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 ha, I'm coming for you. Back to the others. They are left in silence for a few seconds. Yang. Mom. Raven. Yes, Yang. Yang. I forgive you for leaving us, but if something happens to the only man I fell in love with, I'll never forgive you. Same to you, General. Tai. Yang. Raven. It's okay, Tai, I deserve that. Ironwood. I'll accept the consequences, this was my fault. Yang goes to pick up Ascalon and feels a unique power coming from it. Her instincts tell her to stay away and Ruby looks at it and keeps her distance. Yang hangs onto it and walks away. Ruby follows slowly, so does her team along with Ren, Nora, Penny. They need to process over the fact Issei is from another dimension and he can challenge gods. Crow. Poor kid Jimmy, you really bucked up. Ironwood. I know, Crow, I know. I need to make it up to him. Osmond. He's done almost everything for us, leave him be for now. He needs to be alone, we can summon the gods when we can focus. He's been there for us, so let's be there for him. We should enjoy our victory together. Ambrosius, please create the portals. He waved his hands and done. Ambrosius. Good luck. Osmond. Thank you. Ambrosius and Jin go back into their relics. Winter, Purra, Osmond and John take relics back to the vault. John put the sword in his shield so it doesn't hurt anyone when they hold it. Everyone was gone and Neo appeared out of the shadows. She recorded Issei's past and sent the video to Salem. She received it and watched the whole thing. Salem. A former pervert turned into the strongest red dragon emperor. So much power, I must have it by any means. I can rival the gods, I can even kill them. She orders Neo to try and take down Ruby, bring her to the Grimlands for experimentation. Neo agrees and waits for the right time. She needs Ruby to be alone and then she can strike. Issei is flying at high speeds and is currently over the sea. He later sees land and goes there. He doesn't know where he is but he doesn't care. He lands on the side of a mountain with enough force to create a crater. He doesn't come out of it, he just sits there and before he can even think, the Grimm appear as they are attracted to his emotions like a moth to an inferno. He got angry that he can't have any privacy or alone time no matter where he goes. His friend saw his old ways and he hated that. He wanted a fresh start but nope, Date didn't let it happen. The Grimm were upon him and he roared. It was loud enough to make them back away. Issei let the rage flow and decimated the Grimm and the land. They were torn apart, tail whipped, blown up and more. He uses the never-ending amount of dust growing out of him. He set fire to the Grimm pools, impaled them with ice, focused lightning into his fists and cut them down. His battle cry, the shrieking sound of focused lightning, the fire tornadoes burning everything it touched. He created crevices for the Grimm to fall into and burned them alive. After a few hours, the Grimm-infested lands is unrecognizable. He went back to the crater on the side of the mountain or what's left of it and just in it, his armor fell apart and he just cried without holding back. The dust crystals grew and fell off of his body. They piled up around him and started to grow. Issei didn't leave his spot for the whole day. He cried until his tears ran dry. But rwby and co. Crow is pissed towards Raven but isn't surprised about what she did. Yang hasn't spoken to Raven after putting the relics into the vault. Osborne explains the portals via live feed. They use the portals to travel to different locations throughout Remnant to help deal with Grimm, supply goods and ammo, but mainly to find Issei. They hoped that they would run into him, but there was no sign of him. They asked the people, but they haven't seen him. They went back to Atlas to take a break. Currently everyone is sitting together. Ty. So much is happening all at once. John. It makes so much more sense now. Nora. Which part? John. All of it. Why he was hellbent on making me stronger. He wanted me to be a strong leader, and thanks to his and everyone's help, I was able to do my part whenever I was needed. Weiss. I can't believe I was so arrogant like that Phoenix guy. No wonder he told me to change my ways. I might not be alive right now. Blake. There are Frandas or Yaokai, I think they're called in his universe, and they have peace because of him. That woman, Kuroka. We look so much alike. Nora. Maybe she's your doppelganger. Blake. Haha, maybe she loves Issei. He gave her and others a place to call home. Ren. He took on terrorists and won. He fought gods in tournaments and held his own. Pura. He was living a happy life before all of that and lived a happy one despite the pain and trials he endured. Ruby. He let go of his perverted ways and accepted the responsibilities. I think he's the only one strong enough to do what he did. Winter. I didn't like seeing his perverted side, but the good he's done both in his universe and ours. It's impossible to believe that he was a pervert without evidence. I never thought he could be since he had goals, priorities and his desire to help everyone. He's a good man. Crow. Even if he still was a pervert, he wasn't into anything weird and downright messed up things. He had normal desires that turned into what most want. Penny. Which is. Crow. A family. You saw the look of pride on his parents' faces when he brought that nun home, followed by the rest of the girls. They became family. Haha, poor kid, he can't even sleep without the girls clinging to him. They really manipulated him. Raven. Not all of them, sure, they broke his heart in the end, but they did love him. He did fall for that redhead first, but the other girls fell for him too. They shared their deepest and darkest, and since he didn't judge them, they saw him as a potential husband, and he's not the type to break their hearts. He never let any other girl into his heart unless everyone agreed to let her join. There's a hierarchy in the harem too. Ty. The polygamy was another reason to influence this harem idea. It was just a normal fantasy that most teenagers have. Let's be honest, us guys have thought about it too at least a few times. He, Crow and surprisingly Blake raised their hands. Weiss. Blake. You've seen the novels I've read, don't be so surprised. Pura. You never though about having a harem, John. I barely survived living with 7 sisters. Having multiple lovers and 7 sisters would be the death of me. If that happens in alternative universes, then his eyes widen. Oh, poor Adrian, who's gonna protect that innocent soul? Those who know about what happened to John throughout his life back home shuddered at the thought. Penny. With the multiverse theory proven, there may be a universe where that is a reality. John starts to pray for every Adrian throughout the multiverse. It was a little humorous, but it got dark really quickly. Ruby. I want to kill them for what they did. Crow. Never thought I'd see the day that you'd openly display bloodlust petal. Ruby. Can you blame me? They hurt the man that brought the best kind of change to 2 universes. He was turned into a devil against his will, attacked multiple times by the fallen ones. Those light spears they burned when he was wounded by them. I saw smoke. He endured what most devils couldn't, and he only went on to suffer more. The dividing gear. The giant wolf biting into his torso, but none of that hurt him as much as seeing his loved ones getting hurt, dying. He thought he lost that nun a few times. Crow. I can't even imagine how that must feel. We all lost someone, but to get them back from death only to lose them again. Geez, he can't even get drunk to drown the sorrows away. He had to deal with it. He really is built different. Winter. All he ever wanted was to make his parents proud and have a family of his own, something we can all agree upon. They all nodded. Ty. He's a role model to the kids in the underworld. Raven. But that show is strange, can't believe they like that shit. Crow. Devils, they function differently than most, but Issei turned the sin of lust into something positive. He could hear what women feel in their hearts. I gotta ask him to teach me that. Raven. So you can try to get into the pants of every woman you see. Crow. Nope, I'm dating Robin. We have a connection, and with that spell, I'll know exactly what's bothering her and try not to mess up. I want to make her happy, and the less nonsense the better. Ty. Oh gods, where was that spell when I was married to you, Raven? Raven. Hey, Penny. I believe oh snap is the right response. They share a small laugh except for Yang. She sat in silence while holding Ascalon. Ruby. Those girls did one thing right, they chose a great man as their future husband. Yang. But they made a mistake of hurting him. Now they are stuck with each other, and I say that's the perfect punishment. Ren. I honestly hope they didn't do anything with their siblings and cousins. That's just gross. John. I'm gonna be sick. Pura. I really shouldn't have tried to imagine that. Ren. Sorry. My bad. Cinder. Do you think we should go out there and find him? Blake. Not yet, he needs to be away for a while and vent his anger. I speak from experience. Back when I was with a white fang, my ex-partner took something I love and corrupted it. I ran and cleared my head. I meet all of you guys and I'm happy now. Issei did the same, but he got hurt here too. Cinder. After being used by his so-called lovers like that, I'd be a miracle if he ever wants to love again. Yang. I believe that he will. Tai. Yang Yu and Ruby fell for him, but there are 2 other women who fell for him back in his universe. Are you 2 okay with sharing him? I honestly approve of him, but multiple partners. Yang. Maybe we can talk about that after we take down Salem and help Issei. If we can't, then the curse will kill him. She scratches her left arm, and everyone noticed her fingernails look sharper. Nora. Yang. Yang. Yeah. Nora. Your fingernails look like claws. She sighs, puts her hair in a ponytail and rolls up her sleeve. There are bandages on her arm, and she removed them. Their eyes widened. Yang. Before you ask, Ruby and I accidentally took some of his power and we got stronger because of it, but so far I'm the only one showing dragon-like features. Ruby. When I use my semblance, I leave red scales behind instead of the usual petals. I'm faster now too, and that's it. Purra. Yang, your eyes change too. They are just like Issei's but with different colors. Yang. So that's what he was looking at when we were in the hot springs. Everyone. You 2 were in the hot springs. Together. Yang. Yes, but none of us saw anything we shouldn't see. I'll be on the roof. Weiss. I'm going to go visit my family. Winter. I'll come with you. The 2 go to the Schnee home and have a family dinner. The family noticed the 2 sisters being quieter than usual, and they expressed their concerns. The 2 told them that it's been a long day. It wasn't a lie. Night fell upon them and most went to bed. Yang was on the rooftop looking over the horizon, hoping to see Issei show up. She heard 2 people come up. Ruby. Hey sis. Blake. Mind if we join you? Yang. Go ahead. They sit together. Blake. Quite the day we had. Ruby. Yeah, Professor Osborn lost his daughters and lived lifetime after lifetime trying to stop Salem. He did tell us most of the relevant truth, so none of us are angry towards him. Blake. Yeah, Yang, I'm sorry I lied to you about me not having any feelings for him. The truth is that I've loved him since the time we spent in Menagerie. I lied because he always kept his distance. You 2 were close from the start, so I just backed off thinking that he would choose you. You can hate me if you want. Yang. I don't hate you, Blake, the 3 of us just fell for him. He's got that charm and I'm not even sure he's aware of it. Riaz and those girls, I just want to kill them for what they did to him. I can't believe I was jealous of them. Ruby. They seduced him, and every time he was about to get intimate with one of the girls, the others would ruin the moment. Talk about getting blue-balled. Blake. Their cruelty never stops. Yang. Do you think he's going to be okay? Blake. I doubt it because he's been through a lot. He didn't fight or was tortured all his life, but he fought harder than any of us, endured pain on levels that would make us lose our sanity. He's truly one of a kind. I want to hug him and tell him that we love him for who he is. He's always had everyone's best interest in heart. Yang. He's out there, I can feel it. Her left arm glowed slightly. Ruby. I can't too. That way. She pointed southwest. Blake. You can sense him. Ruby. Yes, somehow. I can feel it. I couldn't before, but now I can. Yang continues to look into that direction while holding Ascalon. Yang. He's going to go back one day. Ruby. Yeah, he misses his friends and family. Blake. We saw him at his lowest. He made sure none of us ever fell to such depths. Can't help but fall for the guy. Ruby. We should go look for him tomorrow morning. Blake. We should get some sleep, it's been a long day. Ruby. Sure. You coming, Yang? Yang. Okay. But Issei. He didn't sleep at all, he just stared at the moon motionlessly the whole night and well into the morning. He was too depressed to sleep. He saw a shadow next to him and turned around. He sees that Salem appeared next to him. Salem. You saved me the trouble of finding you. Issei. Salem. I know who you are, Red Dragon Emperor. He looks at her. Salem. Ironwood isn't the only one who knows how to spy on people. Issei. Salem. You've been wounded in every sense of the word, you honestly deserve better. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. He stood up. Salem. Let's get revenge on those who wronged you. We can start with Ironwood and Raven Branwen. You can have her and any other woman you want once we take over Remnant. You can have a harem, the biggest one, and with your blood flowing through your offspring, they'll be an invincible army. Issei clenched his fists. Salem. I'll forgive you for killing my pets if you choose to join me, become one with me. Issei. Are you saying you want to have kids with me? Salem. I am. Issei. So you can kill them like you killed your daughters. Salem's eyes went wide, she fired magical energy at him in a fit of rage, but Issei dodged it effortlessly. Issei. You got stronger. Salem. Thanks to your blood I've acquired courtesy of my ally. Issei. A small fire can't compare to the sun. You're still too weak. Salem tried to claw at him, but he grabbed her arm. Issei. Weak. Divide, 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 divide. She indeed felt weak. Issei ripped her wings out. Salem. Issei. Your hound was more of a challenge. He put his arm right through her chest and crushed her heart. She went limp and he threw her body to the side. Issei. Psi 54321. She got back up and her wounds are healed. Salem. You can't kill me, boy. Issei. I'll find a way to kill you just like how you killed your family and ruin many more. Salem. Aya. She flew towards him with the intent to kill. Welsh dragon balance breaker. Salem stopped holding back and Issei matched her strength. He's angry. Issei. You killed humanity, your daughters, turned many into slaves, you had Cindergate and nearly did the same to Yang, you killed Ruby's mother, I'm going to enjoy hurting you just like I enjoyed hurting your pet Tyrion. Do you have the slightest idea about how angry I am? Salem. It makes no difference, you'll serve me just like everyone else. Issei. Oh you poor fool, don't you know that witches worship devils? Well now you do so kneel. Salem. Never. Issei. Good, you're about to experience what you did to everyone over the years, you're about to experience fear. Salem lets the power of a dragon within flow, there's a visible black aura around her, but Issei just smirked under his helmet. He roars, his blood-red aura seemingly infinite, it's so dense, the ground quakes and cracks, the sky turns red, and the winds pick up speed. Salem now sees the difference in power, but she knows that he has his limits, and her immortality would work in her favor. The two clashed and their battle has begun. Part 18. War and Pain. Morning time, everyone is having breakfast, but Blake, Ruby and Yang are barely eating. Tai. Are you three alright? Ruby. Yeah, just not really hungry. Crow. You miss him, but he's a strong man, he'll be back. He's not the type to just leave things unfinished. Give him some time. He needs it after everything he went through. Yang. We know he needs to be alone right now. How's Remnant holding up? Are the portals still working? Tai. Perfectly. The people are helping each other and non-fighters are jumping from place to place. The Grim just keep coming but they are holding on. Yang. Good. They finish eating and just carry on with their day. Yang and Ruby noticed an increase in their abilities yet again, definitely caused by absorbing some of Issei's dragon energy. They are adjusting to their ability to sense power's aura. Both are meditating on the rooftop, there's silence and it's perfect for focusing. Yang. Let's see, I can sense something, it's Issei's power signature and the other one is Drag. I suppose the story A Man with Two Souls applies to him instead of Osbin. Wait, there's another, who is that? She focused and saw silhouettes, one is red and that's Issei, but there's another that she doesn't recognize. Yang. Wait, a power signature similar to Issei's, who is that? What the? There's something else coming from a different direction. Ruby senses the same things her sister does. Ruby. Okay, I sense his power signature, but there's someone else with him, hold on. She felt something approaching Atlas and redirected her senses. Ruby. The atmosphere just changed, something isn't right. She can feel bloodlust coming towards Atlas, something big is coming. They both see a massive whale-like figure in the air and open their eyes. Yang. Did you see that? Ruby. Yang, I felt that we need to warn the others. The two run into Winter and tell her what they sensed. Winter scans for any incoming objects from the suspected direction. Winter. There's nothing out there. Ruby. There is, we felt it. Winter. We'll keep an eye out. Yang. Thanks, whatever it is, it's big. Winter. Then we'll see it coming. Even I've noticed something change but can't tell what it is. Ruby. There's more, Yang and I can sense Issei's power signature, but we've sensed someone else's next to his. Much weaker, but it's there. It has his signature. Winter. Where? Ruby. Southwest. Winter. We'll let you know what we find. Dismissed. Yang and Ruby go and train, but none of them are sparring properly. Yang. Ruby, let's stop. None of us are feeling it today. Ruby. Yeah, I can't stop worrying about Issei. Yang. Me too. I can still sense his presence, we should go after him. Ruby. Yang, I think we should wait, I want to go after him too, but I think we should wait for him. We don't know what's going through his mind and I want to help him, but none of us know how. It's best if we just let him process it in his way. Yang. How can you say that? What if he hurts himself? Ruby. You think I don't want to go out there and hug him and never let go? Yang, I love him too, so do you and Blake. There are people who miss him in his dimension. I'm constantly worried that he'll leave our world and we may never see him again. We saw his past, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it and it's clear that he's doing the same. There are a lot of mixed feelings. Yang. I know what you mean. If Issei was still a perv, then I never would have let him come near you or any one of us, but now we know that there's always more to a person, especially him. I want him to live, he never let anything keep him down. He deserves to be happy. Ruby. What if it means he has to leave us? Yang. If that's the case then I guess so. He did try to let me down easy. Ruby. He's Issei after all. He doesn't want to hurt anyone. Yang. True, when Jin showed us how upset he got after I kissed him in the heat of the moment, I felt really bad that day, and the next thing I know is that he's flying me over Atlas and I had the best night of my life so far. They both sense something, it's Issei's power signature or it's rising. The image of his incomplete juggernaut drive comes to their minds. Ruby. Forget what I said, let's go before it's too late. Yang. You read my mind. They ran to the others and Cinder saw them, she followed too. With Issei. Issei. Your pet was more of a threat than you are. You said that you know of my past, then you know that you're weak compared to me, just give up you weakling. Salem. Like hell I will. Issei. Suit yourself. Promote to Rook. Change solid impact. His armor became bulky, he hit her with a left hook then a right, then a left, then a right hook repeatedly. Her blood was spilling everywhere. She keeps healing, but he just keeps on hitting her. He broke off her horns, impaled her spine and ribs. Salem collapsed. Issei. I've been hurting you all day, it's turning me into a sadist. Just give up. Salem. A sadist like that fallen girl. Hahaha. Issei grabbed her legs, lifted her up and slammed her back down. His grip grew tighter and her leg was crushed. Salem. It seems I hit a nerve. Haha. You're so easy to manipulate, the fallen girl, Redeed and her peerage, the White Dragon Emperor all manipulated you, it's honestly pathetic. He slammed his fist into her gut and there's a massive hole. Salem. Are you quite finished? Issei. Salem. You may be more powerful, but you'll wear yourself out. I'm immortal, I can't die, and an enemy you can't kill can never be defeated. All of her wounds have healed. Salem. Just surrender, I don't want to kill you. If you want then I can get revenge for you. Issei. Shut your mouth. Salem. A pervert given so much power and still failed to protect his loved ones. Issei. Bite your tongue. Salem. Only to lose her against and again, then you lose all your lovers in an instant. Were you ever loved? He let out a growl, and the flashbacks aren't helping at all. Salem. Being a pawn is all you've ever been. She placed her hands on his helmet. Salem. Wake up to reality, nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world or yours. The longer you live the more you realize that the only things that truly exist in this world are merely pain, suffering and futility. I've seen your power and I can use it to fix everything. Issei. You've seen it, but did you feel it? He backed away from her. Salem. I feel it flowing through me. I feel so strong. Issei. You misunderstand, this is not power of your creation. Boost 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 boost. Issei. I'm going to hurt you for every soul you've tortured and killed. He uppercuts her. Issei. That's for Cinder. Left hook. Issei. For Summer Rose. He breaks her spine. Issei. That's for Team Cardinal. He shattered her pelvis. Issei. For nearly raping Yang. Tail whip, dragon shot, body slam and clawing her guts out. Issei. That's for your daughters whom you killed. Salem used magic, but it didn't even faze him. He flies up and boosts a lot, transfers it to a cluster of earth dust scale. He crushed them and opened his palm, a gigantic rock the size of a building appears, and Issei tossed it down. Salem used a great deal of magic to try and stop it, it drilled through the rock and split it in half. She felt a little tired as no one has pushed her so far before. Issei. Not bad, but what will you do about the second one? Salem. Salem. She saw another one coming down and it's the size of a mountain, there's no way she can destroy it, so she tries to fly away. Issei appears behind her, grabs her by the throat and flies towards the meteor falling right on top of them. Divide 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 divide. She feels her strength being taken away. He tossed her and blasts her into the meteor, she slammed into the meteor and goes right through it as Issei continues to blast her. The meteor is pushed upwards along with her, but it starts to crack as she reaches the center of the meteor and Issei stops attacking, it begins to fall and Issei flies on top of it. Boost 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 boost. He punched it and all that force makes it fall at supersonic speeds, it hits the ground and there's a powerful shockwave and earthquake. Issei uses wind scales and blows the dust away, he sees a crater over a mile in radius. The earthquake is felt on the other continents. But Ironwood, an earthquake. 6.8 and it came from oh no Winter redirect the drones to the source of the earthquake. Winter? Yes sir. In a matter of minutes they reach the epicenter of the earthquake. They see a crater, Issei is hovering in the air, a visible dark red aura around him, Salem is in the crater and is very tired, her hair is a mess, but she's smiling. Salem. Now this is what I call a fight. She unleashed Grim, but they didn't attack. A few centipede Grim went to the crater's edges and started digging. Issei. A fight. This is just a way for me to vent. He dived down and unleashed a fire breath that melted the ground and incinerated her. The heat was so great that the drone's temperature warning went off. Ironwood makes the drones back away as Issei's slowly increasing rage is affecting his ability to control his powers. Like back in Atlas, wind and fire surrounded him, the ground froze beneath him, lightning shooting out of him. The heat from his fire breath rose into the sky and storm clouds accumulated. There was lightning lighting up the sky. Ironwood. Winter. Winter. Sir. Ironwood. You're next in command should something happen to me. Winter. I don't understand. Ironwood. You don't have to. Issei condensed lightning in his palm and impaled Salem. Boost 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 boost. The increase in the electric charge attracted the lightning. Issei grounded himself using his tail, but Salem has no way of doing the same. Every lightning bolt hit them. The lightning storm was the first of its kind in Remnant. The drones luckily backed out of there before it was too late. Back to Ruby, Yang and Cinder. Ruby. Not good not good. Cinder. What's happening? Yang. Something bad is happening. They hear alarms go off and they hear a warning. Warning. Incoming object, prepare for imminent attack. The three run outside and they see another dark cloud approaching, but there's a glowing spot in it. Cinder. What is that? Ruby. It's the change we felt coming towards us earlier. Yang. Yang. I know, we're needed here, we're huntresses first. Yang. We'll come to you soon. Issei, just hang on. The three get together with the others and get ready for battle. Winter calls her family and tells them to hide in the underground bunker under the house. They try to defy her, but she was having none of it. She went to the house and forced them to hide. She flew back and saw that the dark cloud is an armada of Grimm. It's far greater than ever in numbers. Ironwood ordered everyone to back away and fired a few nukes. They'll feel the shockwave, but it's necessary. They all flew in the air, but suddenly they changed course. Watts. You fell for it, James. The nukes are now aimed towards Atlas and Mantle. Self-destruct systems failed. Ironwood. No. Then he fired energy beams and destroyed them before they got too close. One detonated, and there's a blinding light followed by a shockwave. It shattered the windows of nearly every structure in Atlas and Mantle. People are running to the underground bunkers where the portal is. Their vision is impaired and their ears are ringing, but they don't stop. They ran to safety and barely made it. Not everyone managed to avoid the broken glass. The shockwave even went through the portals and knocked some people off their feet. Once they got back up, they went through the portals to aid Atlas, Team SSSN and CFVY, and among them. They see hell breaking loose. Yatsuhashi. What is that? He pointed towards the dark cloud. Velvet. Whatever it is, people are running from it. Son. So we run towards it. Coco. Damn right we do. They move out. A grim whale flies out of the cloud and lands on Atlas. It opens its mouth and black goo spills out. Grimm emerged from it, but they are different. They have red bone plates and spikes instead of the usual white. Penny gets in front of it. Penny. You shall not pass. She fires energy beams at the wings and the whale crash lands on Atlas. Atlas forces along with the Aesops and Huntsmen arrive in the scene. Warships take flight and prepare to defend the cities once again. The fire round, every bomb and missile, the new dust weapons and everything in between. Some of the Grimm descended towards Mantle. The airships were barely holding their own, and dividing their forces would be too risky. The Huntsmen down below are outnumbered by hundreds to one. They're too afraid. JNPR arrived on the scene and they're scared too. One man is using a megaphone to tell the people to run, and it's creating more panic. John immediately took it away from him and saw the Huntsmen starting to run too. John. Don't run. They slowed down and stopped. They turned towards him. Some even pulled out their scrolls and started recording. John. Don't you dare run like cowards. We trained for this. We trained to fight Grimm and protect the people. You're throwing all your efforts away, and your life won't have any meaning. Would you be able to face about our slain comrades in the afterlife? What about their lives? Were they meaningless? GGRR. They were not. Their memory serves as an example to us all. The courageous fallen, the anguished fallen, their lives have meaning because we refuse to forget them. They face death so that their successors can live on, and we're gonna do the same. For ours, we're huntsmen. No, we are the people of Remnant, and we never buckle or yield when faced with the cruelty of this world. Don't give Salem and her pets the satisfaction. It's time they feel fear and despair. Everyone push forward, scream out. Remnant, show your resolve, dedicate your hearts. His aura glows with a golden light, and he points his arms in everyone's direction. Those with aura and weapons felt they're stronger. They let out a war cry and charged. And Nevermore dived down and is blown into pieces by a barrage of bullets. JNPR looks towards the direction of the gunfire. They see Coco and the others. Coco. Nice speech. The Grimm are all gone from our location. John. Thanks for the save, glad you guys made it. Shall we for old time's sake? Son. You know it, bro, led the way. John. Charge. JNPR leads the attack. Neptune. You just want to die for the guy. That's leadership or brainwashing or something. Hawks. No, that's John Arc. They join the fight. More and more people come through the portals ready to help out. They had a real challenge against the Red Grimm, but John's speech motivated them to fight on. The newly awakened silver-eyed warriors really made a difference. Winter and Raven created a Category 5 tornado, it sucked in quite a few Grim, and they set it on fire, the Grim burned to ash. Then the Twister turned into a storm, hail rained down, and actually killed regular small Grim on impact. The red Grim were stronger than expected and did quite a bit of damage, they fed off the fear and got stronger, but no one backed away. Ironwood himself joined the battle, and with that the morale was higher than ever. Penny cut down as many Grim as she could, the Aesops joined the fight, along with Cinder, Hazel, Emerald and Mercury. Ozpin himself joined them, one Grim snuck up on Hazel and pounced, Hazel saw it, and it was inches away from clawing his head off until Ozpin used magic to kill it. Ozpin. I failed your sister in life, I won't fail her in death by failing to protect her family. Hazel nods. They worked together and had each other's back. Crow and Raven cut down Grim after Grim, a trail of black ash behind them as they flew into danger with a smile. Raven opened a portal and her entire tribe came to help. The walls around Mantle won't hold out much longer, so Purah created a firewall, her team protected her. The other huntsmen protected the wall, and the heavy artillery took out the airborne Grim. Team rwby was getting divided as those around them needed help. Within moments Ruby was surrounded by Grim, she used her silver eyes to petrify them, she's getting tired and is catching her breath. Cinder saw the bright flash and flew towards her, a soldier started walking towards Ruby, the soldier is holding an umbrella and there's a spike protruding from the tip, Cinder saw it and flew towards her. Cinder. Watch out, Ruby. Huh. She turned around, the soldier's appearance changed. It's Neo. Her weapon nearly impaled Ruby, but Cinder managed to save Ruby. Cinder. Don't you fucking dare. Neo just smirked. She took on Cinder and Ruby at the same time, but tried to kill Ruby every chance she got to strike. She would create illusions of herself, and the two couldn't tell which one was real, so Cinder would spin flaming obsidian around herself and Ruby. Ruby. Why are you attacking us? Neo showed her Roman's bowler hat. Ruby. We didn't kill him, it was the Nevermore that ate him. Issei tried to save him, but it was too late. Neo got angry and creates an illusion of Issei. Cinder. Ruby. Are you after Issei too? Neo impaled the illusion through the heart. Ruby. That's not going to happen, we didn't kill Roman. Neo didn't listen and started attacking relentlessly, she let her anger cloud her judgment, she forgot that Ruby is a full-fledged huntress who got stronger and faster after absorbing Issei's dragon power. Cinder has trained to fight and is a half-maiden, despite that Neo fought hard but can't fight them forever, little by little they are overpowering her, she resorts to using her illusions once again, she turns herself invisible and casts an illusion of herself to distract the two. Every time they killed an illusion, another would take its place. Cinder grabbed Ruby, flew up and burned the ground below them, Neo had to run away and avoid getting scorched. She used her semblance too much and they countered it every time. She decided to retreat but is angrier than ever, Grim attacked her and she killed them. Robin and her crew aren't sitting out of the battle, she won't hide behind a desk. The Grim would fuse when wounded and became hybrids, Dragon Grim appeared with red scales and bone plates, these are bigger than the one that Issei killed at Beacon and far stronger. They can breath fire, the heat was damaging warships and sent them plummeting, the pilots ejected as soon as they could. They are starting to turn the battle in their favor. Their numbers seem to be never ending, but everyone else have their limits, auras are running low, ammo is running out faster than people can bring through the portals, underground crime syndicates are still fighting alongside the people and are using every weapon they have, the elements are everywhere, lightning, ice, water, earth, fire, hard light, wind and some are even using the rare gravity dust. The maidens are bringing down lightning strikes on the biggest Grim, the electricity is jumping from one Grim to another and killing them, but they can only fight for so long, but they won't stop. John's speech was heard by many, they pressed on, people remembered Ren's training on controlling emotions. Weiss found John, her aura is running low and can't use her semblance for much longer. Weiss. We're in trouble. John. Weiss, I have an idea. Weiss. What? John. Juggernaut drive. Weiss. He boosts her aura beyond 100% and she needs to cut loose. She creates a very large glyph, she grabs Team JNPR and jump through it, what emerged as a giant armored summons, and the 5 are inside the helmet. The people marvel at the sight. Winter flew over to them. Winter. Now that's teamwork. She flies nearby and rained ice on the enemy. Weiss. John, I'll need as much aura as you can give me. Ren, mask our presence. Purah, we'll need you for defense and give Nora a charge. Nora. Nora. Yes. Weiss. Bring Ragnarok on them. Nora. Hell yes. Purah gave her a massive charge. Weiss. Winter time acceleration glyph. She created a time glyph to accelerate their movements. Nora jumped out, ran down the arm and into the palm. Weiss picked a large dragon Grim and threw her at it, Nora flew through the air and went right through the Grim in her path, Winter flew to her and brought her back. Nora. Let's do it again. They laughed as Weiss stomped and destroyed Grim in great numbers. The sword swing created high winds that blew away small Grim into the larger ones. Weiss made her way to the whale Grim and cut the Grim in half. It's dead and starts to disintegrate. John's aura is running low and can't help Weiss maintain her semblance. The armor falls to its knees and starts to disappear. Bren, Weiss, Nora and John start falling. Winter and Purra caught them on a Nevermore summon and take them to safety. Winter. Rest, you've earned it. John. Thank you but we can't, everyone else is giving their all, and we have no right to do any less. He jumps off and lands on a flying Grim. He stabs it in the wing, it starts to fall on other Grim, and they start falling. John jumps on another Grim and repeats the process. Purra. What he said, wait for me babe. She jumps too. Bren holds out his hand. Bren. Shall we? Nora. Such a gentleman. She takes his hand and they jump. Weiss. Sigh, they'll be fine. Winter. Issei's personality rubbed off on them, I hope he's okay. Yang is fighting the red dragon Grim and is using Ascalon to fight. She cries out a few tears as she senses Issei's energy signature coming from the red Grim. She feels like she's killing him little by little. Yang. Issei please we need you, we can't fight these Grim forever. Please I need you. Hai uses his semblance as a last resort when anyone has too many Grim to deal with. Raven couldn't help but smile when she sees him go all out. He found out the truth, but handled it better than Raven could have imagined. She really did love him enough to hide the truth, but hates herself for not really knowing him. Back to Issei. They are still locked in combat. Salem is doing what the Hound did, take some of Issei's power and use it against him. Issei. How is she getting stronger? Greg. She's feeding off of your rage, she's part Grim and can use magic. It's what makes her dangerous. Issei. Damn it. He takes deep breaths and calms down. He knows that Salem is right, he'll just waste his energy and she'll have the upper hand. Salem. What's the matter? Giving up? Issei. No, just taking a break from kicking your ass. Salem. Sigh, you really should just give up, you can't kill me. Issei. I will one way or another. He suddenly senses exactly what Ruby did. Issei. What did you do? Salem. Whatever could you mean? She toys with him. Issei. Don't play dumb, what did you do? Salem. Smirks, you didn't think that I'd just let your friends live, did you? Issei. Salem. So what's it going to be, Red Dragon Emperor? Either stop wasting time and kill me, but the Grim will still continue attacking, your friends are dying as we speak, or continue to fight me and just let them die like you let Asia die. Boost 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 boost. Issei. I'm going to kill you in front of all of Remnant. Issei grabs her by the throat and growls loudly. He ignites his thrusters and flies towards Atlas. He uses Salem as a meat shield when going through the mountaintops and the air at great speeds. The war in Atlas is still ongoing, but the people are losing, the Grim continue to attack, and the Red Grim are doing the most damage. Bots hacked the system once again and fired off the last nuke. Ironwood watched in anger as he completely forgot about the last one. It flew up to the sky and then straight down. Ironwood went to the control room along with Harriet. She used her speed to get there faster and try to redirect the missile if it doesn't respond to the self-destruct. On her way there she caught a glimpse of Watts running away. She ran after him, tripped him and cuffed him. Watts. Let me go. She broke his leg. Watts. Harriet. You don't make demands. Ironwood finally caught up to her and sees that she apprehended Watts. Ironwood. Well done Harriet. Harriet. Thank you General. Ironwood grabs Watts. Ironwood. Destroy the missile or we all die. Watts. I destroyed the control room and we must all die sooner or later. Harriet goes to the control room and it really is destroyed. The hopeless look on her face proves that Watts really did destroy the control room. Watts pulls out a remote and Ironwood pulled out his gun. He killed Watts in cold blood. Ironwood. He was of no use to us now. Harriet. And this remote, was he trying to kill us? Ironwood. He already did that. He and Harriet watched from the window, the battle filling the air with war cries and a nuke to silence it in an instant is coming down. Harriet. It was an honor General. Ironwood. The honor is mine. They look towards the sky and they see the missile. It will hit in 20 seconds, then something caught their eye, a red light over the horizon, a green ball of light appears and is heading straight towards the nuke. It hits and there's a massive explosion in the sky like there's a second sun. Even the Grim are blinded. Huntsmen who regained their sight quickly continue to attack. The war is back on. Harriet. What was that? Ironwood. That was Issei. The red light was gone, but something else is on the battlefield. There stood Issei in his balance breaker while holding Salem by the neck. He's twice his usual size. Salem's recovering from the whiplash. It's so quiet all of a sudden. Issei doesn't look towards anyone but the Grim. The Grim turn their attention towards him and only him. Boost 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 boost. Issei threw Salem into the air and fired a dragon shot. It hit her and sent her plummeting towards the Grim. There's an explosion upon impact. Everyone sees him in his armor, it's beautiful, but that dark red aura is unnerving. Yang's left arm glows a little bit. Yang. Huh. Why is my arm glowing? Cinder. He's back. Velvet. Issei wow. Issei. Promote to Queen. Cardinal Crimson promotion. His armor promotes to Queen and he goes on the offensive. He relentlessly fires his energy beams at the Grim. People are starting to run as this is too much for them. He's doing more damage all alone than the people of Remnant can using their semblances, dust and weapons. They can only see a red streak that's moving around randomly. Each attack is followed by an explosion, elemental attacks and energy-based attacks. rwby, JNPR, Cinder, Hazel, Emerald, Mercury, Ospen, Penny, Crow, Raven, Ty, Winter and Ironwood gather. Raven sent her tribe back home. The Aesops are trying to maintain order and fail. Very few stayed, which includes Robin and her team, Team SSSN and CFVY. They are catching their breath and can only watch as Issei shows them how powerful he really is. Seeing it in real life is both amazing and terrifying. Issei is annihilating them. Soon the Grim might go extinct, which is what everyone hopes for. Salem gets back up and sets her bones. Salem. My oh my, he can still fight. Not bad at all. Yang and Ruby realize that the other presence she felt next to Issei's is Salem. Cinder started to shake a bit and took a few steps back. Ruby fires a bullet right into Salem's skull. She falls onto the ground with half her head blown off. Ruby. That's for my mom. Seconds later, she got back up and is fully healed. Salem. Sigh, you kids never learn. She sees Ospen, Cinder, Hazel, Emerald and Mercury. Salem. Hello again, Ospen, and the traitors are here too. I'm disappointed in you, Hazel. Did you decide to not avenge your sister? Hazel. I'm going what Gretchen would have done. He fused dust into his body and got ready for a fight despite being exhausted. Ospen stopped him. Ospen. Don't, we need the relics. Ironwood. Winter, take Ospen and go get the relics. We'll hold her off. Winter. Yes sir. She takes Ospen and they fly to the vault. Salem smirked. Salem. Running away like always. Ruby. You're alone now, Salem. All your allies are either dead or they switch sides. Salem. I'm not alone. Ironwood. Watts is dead, I shot him. Salem. He did what he could, thank you for that. Just like Ospen sent Summer Rose. Everyone is getting angry now. Ty. You killed my wife, you better pray that the gods end your existence before I do. He actives his semblance, in the blink of an eye he's right in front of her, he kicked her in the ribs, and they were instantly shattered. She flies straight into the mountain, but Ty doesn't stop, he's not holding back and goes after her. He punched her right through the mountain, dragged her through the land. Salem kicked him with great force, and his semblance was deactivated. She created a magic sphere and got ready to kill him. A red portal opened next to her, and Ruby came out of it, followed by a silver flash. Salem backed away and there are more red lines on her body. Raven came through the portal and she took Ty back. Ruby used her powers once more and jumped through the portal. They are back on Atlas now. Salem took a deep breath and uses one more trick up her sleeve. The ground cracks and black goo comes out of it, but this time Salem is absorbing it. Crow. I have a bad feeling right now. Issei is currently destroying the last of the Grim. Winter and Ospen reach the vault and she opens it. Neo appeared behind them and distracted them using her illusions. Winter used ice-cold winds to try to freeze her in place, but it was too late. She took the sword and the lamp then disappeared. Ospen. Damn it. Winter contacts Ironwood and tells her that Neo took 2 relics. Ironwood. 2 relics have been stolen by Neapolitan. Yang. Not a bad rhyme, but we should go hunt her down. Penny. I'll go. She flies to the city and starts scanning for her. Issei kills the last Grim and lands on the edge of the city. He turned his back towards them, then back to the place where Salem is. His armor disappeared, but that dark red aura didn't. rwby, JNPR and Cinder walked towards him. Raven and Ironwood wanted to apologize, but Crow and Ty stopped them. Even the Aesops didn't want to mess with him. Ty. Don't even think about it, General. Crow. Not now, Raven. The two stayed put and know of their screw up. Robin. Mind telling us what happened? Coco. Yeah, likewise. Issei twice his usual size and looks like a dragon. Marrow. I've been wondering about that myself. Crow. Long story short, he's from another dimension where angels, fallen angels, devils, dragons, gods etc. all exist and in great numbers. He's one of them and he left his home dimension because his heart was broken 12x in an instant. He needed a fresh start, so here he is helping all of Remnant. Neptune. That's hard to believe. Crow sprouts his wings as does Raven. Crow. Does our universe make sense? Neptune. Touché. Well, looks like it's all wrapped up here. Robin. You guys can go home. We'll finish it. Velvet. I hope Issei is okay. Crow. We'll let him know. Team SSSN and CFVY go back to the 10. Blake. Issei. Issei. They look up at him. Yang. Hey, you left Ascalon here yesterday. Issei. Thanks. He takes the sword and puts it in his gear. His voice is a little deeper than usual. Greg. Is everyone alright? Twice. No casualties, everyone had time to train and prepare thanks to you too. Ren looks at Issei, and his emotions are still messed up. John. Thanks for saving us again. Issei. Cinder. Issei, please say something. Issei. Why don't you guys hate me? Hurrah. Why would we? Issei. You all saw. Ruby. Issei, we. She reached out her hand. Issei. Stay away. They all backed away. Tai was ready to protect Yang and Ruby if Issei tried anything. Issei. Just stay away, I'm just a pervert, stay away. He flew away and looked for Neo, he wants to summon the gods and get this over with. Nora. Issei, wait, we wanted to show you Weiss's new technique. Weiss. Appreciated Nora, but I think calling it the Juggernaut Drive will just remind him of that day he suffered too much. Let's not hurt him anymore. John. Calling it the Juggernaut Drive was a mistake on my part, maybe Armored Titan is a better name. Hurrah. Now that suits it. Ruby. It's an awesome use of your semblances. Ren. I hope Issei feels better soon, I would love to see his reaction when he sees what we did. Yang. He would have loved it. Issei finds Penny, who didn't say anything, and neither did he. They just looked for Neo, Penny's thermal vision found her. She's running away and doesn't know that the two are behind her. Penny. Over there. Issei saw her and appeared before her, she stopped running and froze in fear at the sight of Issei, who's twice as big and more dragon than human now, only his face still looks human, but with fangs and dragon eyes. He held out his hand. Issei. Give me the relics. Neo holds the relic of destruction and it's burning her hands, but she's too angry to care. She swings it and Issei stopped the blade with just 2 fingers. Neo. Issei. Penny, go. She nods and flies away. Neo didn't let go of the sword and it continues to hurt her. She can't handle the power of the sword. Issei takes it away from her, she grabs her umbrella and a spike comes out of the tip. Issei. If it makes you feel better then do it. She strikes and the spike broke on impact with the scales. She moved away and finds herself backed against the wall. She clenched her fists and tries to punch him, he takes one punch after another but can't really feel anything. He sees the pain she's in. She lost a loved one, the only one she ever loved and needs to blame someone or something and can't accept that Roman is gone. He gets down on one knee and hugs her, she's confused but still tries to hurt him. Issei. I'm sorry, I tried to save him. She starts to cry and her attacks grow weaker. Issei. It was just the two of you and you've been alone for the past 2 years, I'm sorry, it's okay, let it out, it's okay. She completely breaks down and cries. She cried so hard that she could barely breathe, he covers her using his wings, she finally managed to take a deep breath and did something she didn't know she could. She cried out using her voice, it was weak, but it was heard. It became louder and louder until it was loud enough to hear an echo. Issei didn't move from the spot for another 10 minutes and let out a few tears of his own. To his knowledge, this is the first time anyone has heard her voice, and he feels like Roman should be the one to hear it first, Neo would have wanted that too. After a minute or two, she stopped crying and Issei let her go. Issei. You have a lovely voice, Neo, Roman would have loved it. She wiped her tears away and smiled a bit. Issei. Come on Neo, let's get rid of Salem, she took away a lot of loved ones from people for far too long. She nods and gives him the lamp. He takes it and hangs it by his belt, he holds the sword in one hand. Issei. Jump on my back. She climbs up because he's too tall for her to mount him successfully. Issei. Hang on to your hat. He holds onto her using his other hand and they fly out, they land next to the others. Ospen and Winter are there with the crown of choice and the staff of creation. Yang. What are you doing with her, Issei? Issei. Relax, she gave me the relics willingly. Take them and summon the gods, we're ending this. Ospen. Yes, Jin. She appears once again, she looks at Issei with eyes full of regret. He looks away and keeps his distance. Ospen. Jin, how do we summon the gods? Jin. Ambrosius and I work together and summon them using a certain spell. It will take a minute or two to complete and the gods will take a little bit of time to get here, you all saw how they shot off into the cosmos. Ospen. I've waited lifetimes, what's another day or two at most. Ambrosius comes out of the staff. Ambrosius. Well, looks like this is it, anything you guys want me to create before we do this? Ruby. Actually yes, can you make Penny physically human? She wants to be human all the way. She's already got the soul of one. Penny. It's true. Ruby pulls out basic human anatomy info on her scroll and Ambrosius read it. The bone structure, DNA sequences, chemicals and elements etc. He waved his hands and magic surrounded Penny, she suddenly split into 2 completely identical versions. Penny opens her eyes and feels completely different. Her robot body then disappeared. Penny. I feel different, wow, it's cold here. They all share a laugh as Ruby hugs her. Penny. I feel so warm now, is this what hugs feel like? Ruby. Yup. Penny. More. She goes around hugging everyone. Ironwood. You deserve this, Penny. Congratulations. Penny. Thank you, sir. Ironwood. From this moment on, you're relieved of your duty, you are free to live a normal life like you always wanted. She hugged him too, and he hugged back. Hurrah. Your father is going to be thrilled. Penny. I hope so. Ambrosius. Well, Jin, let's do it. Jin. Right. The two close their eyes and their hand signs are in sync, they start chanting. After a minute or so they are done. Ambrosius. Now we wait. John. What's going to happen to you two? Ambrosius. The gods decide that, so we have no clue. Jin. Before we go, Issei. Issei. Jin. I'm sorry about yesterday, please know it was never my intention to do what I did, I'm bound by the rules and. Issei. It's fine. Everyone. Issei. What's done is done. Thank you, Jin and Ambrosius. Ambrosius. I hope I get to meet the inventors in your universe soon. Take care, everyone. The two disappeared into their respective relics. Issei started walking towards his place. Crow. Where are you going? Issei. I did what I could. Neo caught up to him and held his hand. He stopped. Cinder. Are you going back to your universe? Issei. I'm not sure yet. Neo. Don't leave. Everyone's eyes widen. Mercury. Neo, you can talk now. Emerald. Wow, you sound so cute. Cinder. I agree. It's good to finally hear your voice. Suddenly a magic sphere hits the ground next to them and it exploded. Everyone was sent flying, some of them lost their aura. The list includes John, Penny, Ruby, Weiss, Clover and Robin. They got up and see Salem standing there. There's a black smoke coming from her, and her eyes are completely black. There are blackish red bone plates on her. Issei sensed her power is greater than ever and used his balance breaker, then promoted to Rook. He punched her, but she caught it with one hand like it was nothing. Salem. Bringing back certain memories, Red Dragon. He promoted to Queen and they started to battle once again. There was a shockwave felt with each of his punches, but Salem tanked them. Issei. Everyone get out of here. Ruby. We're going to do our part too. She uses her powers, but this time, they had no effect. Salem slammed Issei into the ground with more force than Serg. His armor cracked and half the helmet broke. He's disoriented and can't get up. She snapped her fingers, and black tendrils came out of the ground. They latched onto everyone, but Neo managed to escape her grasp. Salem didn't really care as she's not a threat to her. Salem. Well, that was easy. All of you underestimated me so much that I'm honestly insulted. She walks over to Issei. Salem. All of you summoned the gods, I'm sure of it, so I'll guess I'll just take away your powers, Issei. Drake, why not become one with me, and we can become the true dragon of domination. Drake. Go book yourself, Salem, you're used to doing it anyway. Salem. Now that's no way to speak to a lady. Mercury. There's nothing ladylike about you. Salem. Wait for your turn, Mercury. She reached out to Issei, who is struggling to get up. Neo appeared and started to choke her. Neo. Don't touch him. Salem. Futile effort, little girl. She tossed her aside. Issei. Neo. Salem started to do what the Hound did, break Issei's armor and absorb its powers. Salem. Yes, that's the stuff. I'll no longer need the relics. Yang. No, stop. Ruby. Leave him alone. Salem looks at them. Salem. Ah, young love, how pathetic. She turns back to him and continues taking his power. Yang's arm is glowing and she feels her strength increase gradually. She broke free and a golden gauntlet with purple gems appears on her left arm. Yang. Balance breaker. The balance breaker, just like Issei's but with golden and purple color scheme, manifests. She fires a dragon shot and sends Salem tumbling like ragdoll. She immediately sets everyone free and helps Issei to stand up. Issei. Yang, how did you? Yang. No clue, but I'm glad it happened. Now get ready. We're not done yet. Another magic attack and they are both knocked off their feet. Everyone is pushed back. Salem. Now that's quite the development, but no matter. I'll take your powers too. She appears before Yang in an instant and punched her. Yang had already crossed her arms to disperse the impact force. Her armor cracked and some pieces broke off. It hurt a lot. She used her tail to impale Salem, but she shows no reaction to it. Salem. You don't learn, do you? The others fire dust rounds, but she just absorbs the elemental properties and sent it right back at them. The maidens created ice shields, and Vine used his semblance to lessen the impact. Just managed the bare minimum to avoid injuries as the ice shields broke, and Vine's semblance could only do so much. John's aura was in the red, so he couldn't give anyone a boost. The maidens did everything they could to free Yang from Salem's grasp, even Cinder gave it her all despite how afraid she is. Salem. I've humored you all long enough. She cast a gravity spell and everyone was pinned once again. Yang didn't feel the increase in gravity, Salem only cast it around her. She took the opportunity to punch her on the temple and it made her loosen her grip. She got up and so did Salem. Yang used every kind of attack she could, but she's not used to these new powers. Salem is effortlessly dodging her strikes. Yang. Hold still. Salem used another gravity spell and sent her flying. She regained her balance and used her wings. Issei is getting his bearings and is less dizzy. His body is slowly starting to respond. Greg. Get up, partner. Issei. I'm trying. Yang fired more dragon shots, and Salem swatted them away like flies. The dragon shots flew off in random directions. They hit the dust fields, Atlas and other random places. She feels her stamina running out and lands next to Issei. Salem appears between the two. She punched Yang in the back, and her armor shattered. Her body goes into a state of shock for a few seconds, and tries to breathe. Salem kicked Issei on his back and broke what's left of his armor. She consumed pieces of both armors. Salem. Yours is just a pale imitation of the real thing, little girl. Yang managed to get up and raised her arms. Tai. Yang, don't. Raven. Stay away from my daughter Salem. Salem. Oh, just give up already. Yang. Never, us dragons don't give up. Salem. So be it. Yang. I'm sorry, everyone, close your eyes. Issei, I love you. All of their eyes widened as Salem threw her into the air and used another gravity spell to bring her down. She crash landed hard enough to break her aura. Salem. Die for me. Salem created an ice spear and stabbed her in her abdomen. Yang. Aya. Ruby. Yang. Blake. No. Tai. No. Raven. Yang. Everyone cried out to her. Issei couldn't hear anyone's cries after he heard Yang scream. He watched as she was bleeding into the dirt and her gauntlet disappeared. Salem started to laugh and everyone was crying and begging her to respond, but there was no reply. Salem. Now what were you saying about the witch bowing to the devil? Hahaha. Suddenly the sky turned red and a burst of power fueled by rage unrivaled. Salem stops laughing and everyone looks at Issei. Now they see the manifestation of rage and immediately got Yang out of there. Yang looked at Issei and didn't recognize him. Salem. Do you hate me now? Issei finally snapped. Part 19. A Dragon's Fury and Feelings. Issei finally unleashed the rage he's been holding in, the sky turned red, and he's completely unrecognizable compared to the person he used to be. Everyone on Remnant was feeling like there's something malevolent out there. They feel the presence coming through the portals, but rwby, JNPR, Winter, Crow, Robin and her team, Tai, Raven, Ironwood, Osmond, Penny, the Aesops, Hazel, Neo, Emerald, Cinder and Mercury are experiencing it firsthand. The dust that Issei spread around Remnant is reacting. They are growing faster than before. The field in Atlas is growing even faster because of the close proximity. Some of the empty crystals are changing colors between green and sky blue. Salem is facing Issei is actually starting to feel fear. She now understands what Issei meant by seeing power and feeling it. She actually took several steps back. Salem. What the hell? Issei grabbed her head using only one hand, and it's twice the usual size. She feels so much pressure. Her skull is cracking and healing at the same time. He leaps off of Atlas with enough force to actually move the city. The cables connecting it to Mantle barely manage to hold it in place. Issei and Salem land on a far-off mountain, but there wasn't much left of it after impact. Issei. Pray to the gods that have forsaken you. Salem can't breathe and can't loosen his grip. She feels his power force itself into her and move around as if it's searching for something. She feels a pain she's never felt and let out a muffled scream. She feels her power leave her. She can't feel her magic. She's completely powerless. Somewhere in the cosmos. Dark God. Brother, do you feel that? By God. We have been summoned and not just for what we expected, let's go. The two gods immediately make their way towards Remnant. In DXD. With Office. Oh no, Issei. With Rias, her wives and husbands lol. They are still crying, some are completely losing it. Rias. Issei, I need to see you, where are you? Bekeno. My lover, my one true love, you can hurt me all you want if it means I can be with you again. Kaneko. Senpai. Ravel. It's so cold without you. Ria's desire to see Issei makes her snap. Rias. I can't take it anymore, I need to see my Issei. Riser. Rias, no. She creates a portal as she locked onto the magical signature of his pieces. It envelopes the small house. She teleported everyone with a desperate and crazy look on her face. They couldn't stop her. In Remnant, Issei is making Salem experience pain and torment beyond anything she could have possibly imagined. John sees the dust field acting differently. He knows what the green ones will do. He jumps off the Nevermore, lands and grabs the crystal. The others question his actions and land. Weiss. What are you going? John. Hopefully saving Yang's life. He crushed the crystal and immediately felt his aura increase a little. He didn't waste a single second and used his semblance. Her wounds started healing at a slow rate. She takes a deep breath as the pain subsides and regains her consciousness little by little. Ruby is so angry, her sister nearly died again, and Issei finally unleashed his power that can destroy the planet and kill gods. She feels so helpless and terrified on a level she never knew before. She's scared for Issei because he isn't himself anymore. There's no concept of mercy, compassion, self-control or anything that him the person most love. Right now he's all power, rage and basic instincts. Drake is calling out to him, but Issei can't hear him. Drake tried to bring him to the mindscape in hopes of ending his rampage, but he was met with unyielding rage. It's completely out of control and it's too much for him to divide. Drake. Office, we need you. RWBY and the others just watch from the distance as a red figure is slowly turning the land into nothing. Shock waves and earthquakes, bright lights, bursts of flames that make volcanic eruptions look like a firecracker. A small portion of land covered in ice and snow now looks like hell. Issei's elemental powers have reached a whole new level when he looks Salem's powers away. Gravity is unstable around him, ice, stone, dirt and other natural materials are floating around him. He turned them into projectiles and Salem is bombarded. His power is rapidly increasing and it's creating a supercell storm. The crimson clouds are scaring those who are watching. Fiona. What is he? Weiss. He's hurt. Blake. Far too much. Ruby's heart ached. She wants to help him but knows that even getting close to him will be suicide. In Issei's mind and soul, the truth of his reincarnation, all the pain he endured, the loves who made him believe that they truly loved him, then ultimately betraying him at once. Now he finally looked beyond his perverted views, leaving home and everyone else behind, and not have the courage to say goodbye face to face. Coming to Remnant and seeing his new friends get hurt, he wasn't fast enough to stop Adam from stabbing Blake, not fast enough to stop the resurgent Adam from hurting Yang or stop Salem from stabbing her. He could have prevented that if he didn't give a damn about hiding his power. He told those with power and influence to do what's right, and yet he held back. He has to do that once more but he can't. He finally snapped and is going on a rampage. The sounds of a raging dragon are heard loudly, the land is destroyed around him, but new terrain forms via earth dust, amplified by his uncontrollable power. He gouged Salem's eyes out, crushed every bone into powder, his fire breath is more than hot enough to leave nothing behind of what it came into contact with. She regenerated because of her immortality, only to experience more pain again and again. She couldn't think, her lungs are begging her to breath, but the pain is making her scream to no end. Just then, a white and black energy beam hit him from above, he stumbled and fell, his attack was extinguished. The two energy beams revealed the brother gods. The light god looks around and sees Salem crawling away. He appears in front of her and picks her up. He sees how terrified she is. Salem. I'm so happy that you're here, please save me. Light god. Calm yours. Before he could finish, the Dark One is slammed into him and are tossed like ragdolls for at least a kilometer. Issei is the one who threw the god into another god. Issei flies towards the gods and fired a dragon shot. They took the blast head on and got only a few scratches. The two gods started turning into dragons, the Dark One turned into a Western dragon, and the Light One turned into an Asian dragon with silver eyes, but Issei attacked mid-transformation. Divide, 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 divide. The two felt their power drain. Issei just stole some power from two gods. Greg. Office, where are you? Issei was merciless, the two gods were attacked again and again. Issei didn't hold back. Boost, 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 boost. He channels Ascalon's power into his attacks and tail whipped the two, wounds clearly visible on their bodies, but they heal quickly. Ozpin recognized the two figures. Ozpin. The gods are back, I hope they can stop Issei and save him. John used the last of his semblance to continue healing Yang. It's no longer a fatal wound, but if she tries to move too much, then it will be fatal. They all see the three dragons locked in a death match. The light god coiled himself around Issei, but Issei's aura was burning him. Dark god. Brother. He fired a dark magic beam. Divide, 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 divide. The light god felt his strength leave him, the attack was absorbed. Boost, 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 boost. Issei fires the beam back at the Dark One, and it blew him away. The attack was so strong that it blew towards the Grim Lands. He crashed into the continent and laid there for a short while. Issei then grabbed the other god and took away more of his strength. Divide, 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 divide. The light god went limp. Everyone on Atlas saw the brother gods get blown away and weakened. Some of them fell to their knees and started to cry. Blake. Sniff Issei, this isn't you, please stop. Ozpin. My precious student, you just wanted to keep the peace. Ironwood. I never could have imagined this happening. Winter. Privacy is all he asked for, a home. Hazel. So what do we do? Mercury. Pray. Issei prepared a long smasher. Boost, 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 boost. Long smasher. He fired it at the light god, who managed to twist his body enough to avoid the blast. The light god used his silver eyes and hoped to blind Issei long enough to escape his grip, but it didn't have any effect. Issei opened his massive jaw and is ready to burn the god into a crisp. A continuous dark energy beam comes out of nowhere and hits Issei. He lets go of the light god and got blasted by him too. Light god. You cannot defeat us. The dark god appears next to his brother. Salem, who was crawling away, used up whatever little strength she had left and collapses. She can only look on in horror as the three are evenly matched until this happened. Divide, 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 divide. He divided their attack, grabbed them by their throats, and slammed their heads into each other with enough force to actually hurt them. Boost 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 boost. Both backed away and created three giant walls made of stone. Dragon shot. Issei fires the dragon shot. Basically this. The gods were blown away and buried in the debris. RWBY and everyone else could only watch as he slowly kills the gods while growing stronger with each passing moment. Issei prepared another dragon shot and fired. The two gods got out and see the incoming attack. They braces for impact but it never hit. Divide, 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 divide. They open their eyes and see someone in white armor. It's Volley using the Juggernaut drive. By God. Who are you? Volley. Doesn't matter. Get ready. The three of them see Issei charging at them while releasing energy. Two giant cannons appeared on Issei's back. The light dust scales glow on his body. Boost 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 boost. He fires laser beams and Volley deflected them with some difficulty. Volley. Even though Office gave me some of her power, I'm only going to use it as a last resort. Albion. We're not fighting him alone. Volley. He's growing bigger and stronger. Volley closes in and blocked his fist. Issei did the same and their fists collided. Volley felt like he just punched a mountain. It hurt but he didn't care. Volley. Come back to your senses, High Auto. Issei grabbed Volley and threw him onto the earth below. He them stomped on him. The two gods kicked Issei on the head, but he barely budged. His tail wrapped around the throat of the dark god and he backhanded the light god into the dirt. Salem, who's watching, is absolutely terrified. She gets up and runs towards Atlas as this is her only chance. Greg. Albion, do something. Divide x10. Issei begins to shrink down to the point where he can't choke the dark god anymore and the dark god is free. Volley smiles as he's no longer being stomped on. The gods get up and get ready to take down Issei once and for all. Suddenly a red streak zigzags between the two. They feel impact and pain go through their bodies. Volley gets up and is kicked in his face by the red streak. It's Issei. Boost 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 boost. He's no longer massive, but the power is easily recovered. His speed has increased a lot. He's too fast for the three to see. He's constantly attacking and none of them can fight back. He's zigzagging between the three and is showing no mercy. Volley's armor is breaking. The brother gods are losing. With each of his strikes, they can feel their power fade. Issei's taking their power non-stop. The brother gods shrink to human size and Volley's armor is broken. Issei finally stops and they see the enraged dragon. He sees Salem in the distance and once again used his speed to appear behind her, grabbed her by her spine as his claws dug into her back. She was brought to the three and is tossed between them. Salem. Please stop, I beg you. She immediately bowed and hoped for mercy. Issei took out Ascalon and is ready to slay them. Volley then grabbed the two gods and Salem. He moved them to safety and then attack Issei, hoping the brother gods can recover quickly. Volley. Office, whatever plan you have, now would be a good time to execute it. Boost 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 boost. Volley tried to divide his power, but he couldn't get near him. His uncontrolled aura was pushing away anything that's near him. Ruby and Yang are sweating as they feel his overwhelming power. The others only see a red and green light show. Weiss. Ruby, Yang, what's happening? Yang. His power, he surpassed the gods. Ruby. I can feel the planet shake. She's not kidding, all of Remnant is experiencing tremors, people are scared and every front is terrified. Their instincts are going into overdrive, some are crying, some are panicking, and some look like they accepted death. Velvet is hyperventilating, her team is worried and they are trying their best to help her calm down. All the Frannas in Menagerie are waiting for death. Issei fires off random dragon shots. Volley and the brother gods create magic shields. The surrounding area is destroyed completely. Issei roars and sees Salem. He flies down with Ascalon in hand. He's going in for the kill. Volley immediately goes in to save her, he grabbed her, and Ascalon missed his head by an inch. He's flying her to safety, but Issei takes them down with one swift kick. He tries to kill Salem, but the brother gods hit him with a magic attack, it only diverted his attention away for a second, Volley grabbed him. Divide, 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 divide. He felt Issei's raw power course through his body, and that includes his rage. His juggernaut drive never siphoned so much raw power, but he's doing his best. Boost 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 boost. Issei used the same old trick, amplified his power along with what Volley took, it's too much, and his armor blows up, Volley falls on the ground. Issei stabbed Volley in his leg. Volley let out a small scream as the wound is inflicted by the dragon slayer. Issei took out the sword and tried to stab him once more, but the brother gods blast him with a magic attack. This was a strong attack, but not enough to cause Issei any serious harm. He had enough and used his speed to get between the two and spin kick them, followed by dragon shots. Salem got caught in the blast. RWBY and the others are watching via drone footage on their scrolls. Ruby and Yang can feel his overwhelming power and feel helpless, but that doesn't mean that they won't try. Issei will continue to rampage until Remnant is destroyed. The green orbs appear once again and they are telling him to kill them. His chest plate opens up and prepares a long-ina smasher. Ruby? This isn't right. Her eyes glow and her cape starts to bellow in the wind, little scales are flying like petals in said wind, there's a reddish aura coming from her. Ruby? I'm coming Issei. She activated her semblance and flies off towards Issei. The number of flying scales increase until they form a large cocoon around her, it breaks seconds later, and what comes out is a dragon. She flies straight towards Issei and hopes to snap him out of his berserker state. Yang's eyes widen and she slowly got up. John? You need healing, don't get up. Yang. I'm going to go help her. She stands up and her gauntlet appears once more. Yang. Balance break. Her golden armor appears. Raven. I'm going with you. She opens a portal to Ruby and they go through. Issei was just about to fire, but Yang appears behind him, she activated her semblance, her armor ignited and kicked him behind his knee, he fell backwards and fires into the air, it split the sky. He got back up, Yang and Raven see the rage and understand why dragons are the embodiment of power, he continues to grow in size and his power far beyond the juggernaut drive. It's the juggernaut drive combined with the 4 promotions into one uncontrollable state. He swung his arm at the two, but Ruby used her super speed to move Yang and Raven to safety. His fist hit the ground and it caused an earthquake. Issei opened his jaws and created a small sun, he only exhaled, and a flame jet is unleashed, the air around it is sucked in like a vacuum, that flame jet melted all the ice and snow near it, only to be vaporized in under a second. He roars and the small sun grew bigger and bigger, it was as big as him in 3 seconds, and then twice his current size in the next 3 seconds. Ruby immediately flew away as the heat was too much, Salem was burning in the extreme temperatures. The others used magic to shield themselves. The small sun turns red. Issei suddenly appears in front of the 3 in an instant and knocked them down into the dirt. Salem was crawling for her life. Boost 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 boost. Greg. Issei stop. Yang. Forgive me Issei. She fires a dragon shot, direct hit but no effect. Ruby covers her sister and Raven using her wings. Her petal-shaped scales are the only things enduring the heat. Ollie. Hi Auto. Yang. Issei. By God. Don't do it. Ruby. Don't kill us. Raven. We're sorry. They all called out to him, but he didn't respond, he was about to burn Atlas along with half of Remnant. The dark god opened a small portal into space, and it was sucking in the small sun along with the heat, the light god held out his hand, and the relic of destruction came to him. It grew in size and he swung it at Issei. Issei tail whipped him and took the sword, he stabbed the light god, he roared, and a white streak appears on Issei's body, his fangs grow longer, the dark god closed the portal and tries to stop Issei from doing any more damage, Issei bites him, the dark god screams as red lines appear, they spread from the bite wound throughout the body. Everyone looks on in silence and shock. Albion. It's not possible. Ollie. What's going on? Albion. When he took the dividing gear, he took all the abilities that I possess with it. Ollie. What? Albion. He can use more than just dividing. Issei raised a relic of destruction and brought it down upon them, they barely dodged the slash attack which split the land. Volley dons his balance breaker and used the juggernaut drive. He used dividing little by little, so that it won't strain his gear, but it didn't work, Issei cut his armor in half, Albion began to repair it immediately. The brother gods got back up and tried to pin Issei to the ground, they grabbed his arms, Volley kicked Issei behind his knees and he fell backwards, he pinned his legs to the ground and used his tail to block Issei's from attacking. Ruby took the chance to try and talk to him. Ruby, Issei it's me Ruby. Yang and Raven did the same. Yang. Issei, please come back to us. Raven. This isn't you. Issei prepared a fire breath when a portal opened above him, and it's the 12 fools. They see Issei, who is pinned by the brother gods, Volley and Ruby. Yang, Ruby and Raven can't believe what they are seeing, they can't even think clearly because of how angry they are. Rias. Issei. Bakeno. Issei. Kaneko. Senpai. Asia. Issei. Issei slowly turned to Rias and the others. Issei looked at them and let out a small growl. Rias. Issei, please come to your senses, I'm here, we can be together again. Issei extinguished the fire breath attack. Issei. Rias. Her eyes lit up and she smiles. Rias. Yes, it's me, I'm here for you. Issei stops resisting and they let go. His armor disappeared and his aura faded. They think that he's coming to his senses. They are so wrong. Green orbs appeared around Issei once again. Issei, if he wasn't going berserk before then he is now. Everyone runs. The land is full of craters, energy spheres zip right by Atlas and destroy the mountains behind it. The gods and Volley charge towards him. Issei is unleashing his fury upon them as his armor manifested again, growing in size and wreaking havoc. Raven. We have to leave now. Yang. I know, Ruby. Ruby. Go. Raven opens a portal, she and Yang go through it and appear next to the others. Yang falls to her knees, Ruby grabs Salem and she flies back to Atlas. Salem is screaming the whole time. Rias and the others followed them through the portal. Tai. Just what is going on out there? Ospen. Salem. Salem is panicking and trembling, she looks at Ruby and backs away. She's clearly afraid of dragons now. Ruby changes back to normal, but Salem is still scared. She crawls towards Ospen and hugs him as he approached her. The surprises are unending today. Salem. Ospen, I'm so happy to see you, please I beg you save me from that monster. She points towards Issei, who is humiliating the brother gods and Volley. Issei fired Long Ina Smasher after Long Ina Smasher at them, the three barely managed to dodge each one. Volley. Damn it, Balance Breaker. Albion. Vanishing Dragon Balance Breaker. Volley. Diablo's Lucifer Drive. Volley. High Auto. His new armor is a combination of the dividing gear and Office's power which she gave him. Issei wasn't slowing down, he finally managed to hit the brother gods with a Long Ina Smasher, it wounded them and they lay on the ground. Issei used his speed and attacks Volley, Volley is holding his own. Issei is no longer in control to any extent, the dust scales on his body are growing and releasing their elemental powers, massive lightning bolts are being discharged, winds that can blow away a category 5 tornado without effort are not making things easy for Volley, ice and earth grow out of the ground and even manifest in midair with the high winds. They fly around and the three are forced to be even more cautious. Issei is surrounded by fire and it's slowly starting to burn Volley. He fires another laser at Volley and cuts his armor. Issei grabbed him and divided his power. Volley felt the power drain to the point where he can't even use Balance Breaker. His armor disappeared and Issei started to crush him. The light god used his silver eyes to blind Issei and the dark god rescued Volley. They retreated to a safer distance while Issei randomly breathes fire all around him. The three fly into the air to avoid getting roasted. Light god. We need answers. Ark. Boy, who are you and who is he? Where did you two come from? Volley. From another dimension. The two look at him, waiting for more answers. Volley. We have to wait a little bit longer, Office has a plan. The brother gods. Who? Volley. You'll see. The dragon shot hits them and they fall to the earth. They can feel the ground shake, the weather is in a state of flux, it's spreading all throughout Atlas, the maidens are trying to control it to keep the two cities safe, but it's too much. Rias and the others created magic shields to help them, and everyone who knows about them is full of bloodlust. The brother gods lead Issei away, and the storm he's creating follows him. The shields go down and as soon as they do, Cinder created fire mines under the 12 and blew them up, they yelled out in pain. Zenobia. What was that for? Asia started to heal everyone. Saji. My question exactly, Cinder. That's for what you did to Issei. The 12. Rias. How do you know about that? Hurrah. Your universe isn't the only one with magic. Rias Gremory, you really are a devil. Ospen. You all broke his heart 12 times in an instant. Mercury. Can someone tell me what's going on? Neo. They used Issei. Neo and everyone who saw Issei's past are full of killing intent. Yang activates her semblance once more and her armor is on fire, she attacks Rias, but Sarah blocks her fist by grabbing it, it proved to be a mistake as his hand started to burn, he immediately let go and Yang's spin kicked him to the side. Weiss, Ruby, Blake, JNPR and others walked over to them, weapons ready, semblances activated, the Aesops, Hazel, Robin and her crew got in between the two parties. Clover. Okay everyone, just hold it right there, why are you attacking? Blake. Because they used, hurt and betrayed Issei. The 12 looked down while getting disgusted looks from everyone. Kaneko. At least let us try to make this right. Sniff. Blake. You don't deserve any second chances. She suddenly disappeared and appears in front of Kaneko. Kaneko looks at her and her anger reminds her of Kuroka when she slapped her. Kaneko flinched. Roswis. Leave her alone. She tried to use magic and everyone got ready to fight. Marrow. Stay. They all froze but too many people for him to freeze after using his semblance in the war. He lost his control and everyone is freed. Blake put Kaneko in a chokehold. Cinder suspended obsidian glass on the necks of the 12. Cinder. Move and you'll all bleed out. The 12 didn't move. Yang prepared a dragon shot. Yang. I should kill you for what you did to him. Ruby. Leave something for me to cut up. Weiss. Balance break. She dons her armor and is ready to fight. The Keno. This world has sacred gears too. Yang. You have other things to worry about, look what you did to him. She points towards Issei, completely destroying Volley and the brother gods. Yang pulls out the red sword that Issei took from Adam. Nora. After everything he did for all of you out of love and respect, you go around hurting him in some of the worst ways. Riaz. You think we're happy about that? It was a mistake. John. You had the white cat follow him on the day that Fallen killed him, you watched him suffer till he died, then you turned him into your pawn. You could have just asked him for his help and he would have done it because that's the kind of person he is. Everyone's eyes widened. Blake held a blade to Kaneko's throat who didn't resist. Cinder created more obsidian and surrounded them, guns are aimed at them, Weiss and John had their weapons ready. Neo and Emerald used their semblances to disappear and reappeared behind Kiba and Zenobia so that they can't use their speed to get the upper hand. Roswis. Riaz, what's he talking about? Asper. It's not true, you wouldn't. Riaz and Kaneko started crying. Riser. You did, oh bucking hell. The shock wave hits them but they didn't care. Ruby. You completely broke the man we know and love, I hope you all burn in the pits of hell. She aimed her rifle at them as she sheds a few tears. Saji. Do it, I deserve it. Kiba. We betrayed him when we promised to have his back. Weiss. Just to stab him. Ravel. Please let us try to calm him down, you can kill us if we fail. Ren. You have no right to see him go back to your dimension right now. Hura. Do you fools have an idea about what he went through? Blake. For 2 years, he's had so few nights of peaceful sleep. I saw him and heard his cries, and we couldn't help him. Cinder creates more fire mines beneath their feet and moves the obsidian closer, they are less than a millimeter away from impaling their necks, she even heated the tips of the obsidian. Yang's arm is shaking as her anger is making it hard to not fire the dragon shot she prepared. Even Hazel is holding dust crystals in his hands just in case. Penny. You all have some nerve to come here and at the worst time. The Keno. 2 years. What are you talking about? He's only been gone for. Raven. You don't demand answers from us, fallen angel. Crow. I want to shoot your tongues out. Another portal opened, Irina and Michael appear between the two. Michael. What are you 12 doing here? Irina looks at Issei in the distance. Irina. No, Issei, what happened? Weiss. These 12 showed up, Issei saw them and he completely lost it. Irina. I should have killed you guys in the club room. Michael. Have there been any causalities? Winter. None so far. Michael. Good. Everyone, it's time. Azazel, Surziches, Grafia, Serafal, Ajuka and Office appear. They have phoenix tears. RWBY and JNPR recognize them and smile. Office. Any injuries? Yang. Here. She deactivated her armor. Grafia gave her a phoenix tear and healed her wound. Irina. Everyone, can we save Issei? Office. Yes. We just have to knock some sense into him. Yang. He just beat 2 gods and that guy with white armor. Surziches. Riaz. Brother I. Surziches. Silence, I'll deal with you lot when we get back. His power flares, Issei felt it along with the other Devil King's power. He beats the brother gods and volley, he turns towards Atlas and flies. Office. He's coming. I'll stop him, the rest of you contain any stray attacks. Irina, you're with me. Irina. Right. Those who arrived after Irina obeyed Office, all of them are serious, not even Serafal is messing around, Issei completely ignores Office and goes in to kill the 12. As soon as he passes Office, she saw tears coming out of his eyes, she snaps her fingers, and a barrier appears which separates him from everyone else, the 12 see his rage, the bloodlust. The kind and caring Issei has been replaced by this dragon that wants them dead. They can only look on as they are filled with fear, regret, guilt and the sense of loss. His chest plates opened up yet again, and the Long-Ina Smasher was about to kill them. Office expands the barrier, the Long-Ina Smasher is disrupted, the barrier expanded and encases Issei, Irina and Office go inside of it and try to bring Issei back to his senses. Office. Issei. Issei just roars and attacks. The others try to contain the storm outside and are managing it. Weiss, Winter and Grafia use ice, Serafal uses water, Ajuka uses his signature formulas to completely control the nature of the elements, Surziches eviscerated any incoming ice and stone. The weather slowly changed back to normal, but the storm within the barrier is completely different. Office created a full shield around Irina and herself. They move closer to Issei, Office uses her snakes to bind him. His power is still growing, the barriers are becoming strained, but Office reinforces them. Arena. Issei, can you hear me? Greg. Someone do something, this is rage beyond anything I've ever seen, even the past hosts are frightened. Office. His rage is too great for him to even think, I had hoped that you could calm him. Arena. Then what do we do? They look into his eyes, he's so angry and hurt. Office noticed the white streak on his body. Issei's wings glow with a blue color and the barrier begins to shrink. Office. Half dimension. Arena. Issei, stop, you'll crush us. The storm within the barrier is being compressed, pressure is building, and the barriers are cracking. Everyone watching are amazed to see Issei do that to her barriers. He's grown so strong. The power of the storm is leaking through the cracks and making them bigger. Surziches creates a barrier to redirect the power upwards. It's a lot of power, it could easily rip the planet apart if it wasn't sent into space. Arena. What do we do? Office. I'll have to handle it, he just defeated 2 gods and Volley to whom I gave some of my power just in case. This requires more force, I have an idea. Arena. Huh. Office forced Arena out and she opened a portal into the dimensional gap, she takes Issei into it and creates a barrier between the 2 dimensions, they can see but can't enter, Arena punched the barrier but can't do anything. Arena. Let me in, sniff Issei. Office. Everyone can see into the dimensional gap, they see Office turn into a black Asian dragon. What they see next is Great Red himself, ready to fight. Office. Forgive me, Issei already. Great Red roared, as did Office and Issei. Their battle began, Issei would siphon power from both and use it against them, but they are too strong for him to do any real damage. The brother gods and Volley flew to Atlas and landed next to everyone, the 3 are injured. They were given Phoenix tears and healed but not recovered. Ollie. Where's Hayato? Michael. Up there. The brother gods and Volley looked up, his eyes widened when he sees Issei fight the dragon gods. Ollie. Issei is powerful, but not enough to beat even one of them. Heal. Weiss. Shut it. Ollie. Ruby. He'll be fine, he always bounces back. Sniff. The brother gods look around and have so many questions, they hold out their hands and the lamp comes to them, they hold it and all the knowledge about Issei, his time in Remnant and the DxD verse floods into their heads, including how powerful each god and dragon is. Dark God. I have no words. Light God. Nor do I. They watch as Issei is not giving up despite the best down, Issei's dragon energy merged with his elemental powers and the magic powers he took from Salem, he has living elemental dragons around him and they attacked Office whom Simple took control of them, she used his power against him. Rias along with her husbands and wives look on, the others let them go and regroup. Robin. Crow, please tell me what is going on. Fine. We too would like to know. Hazel. As would we. The brother gods snap their fingers. The Aesops, Hazel, Mercury, Emerald, Robin and her crew all know the truth now. Their heads hurt a bit but the pain subsides after a minute. Their eyes widened as they can see the embodiments of true power fighting in the dimensional gap, they look at the new arrivals and they take a few steps back. Harriet. Oh wow, I really want to kill you 12 right now. Fine. For once, I believe that violence will give us peace. Elm. You know you bucked up when Vine wants you guys dead. Robin. That poor guy, just a teenager turned into a weapon. Cinder. He deserves better than you cheaters. Dark God. Enough. Everyone is silent. Dark God. We have other concerns. He and the others look up, Issei still isn't backing down, Great Red has a concerned look in his face, he was always carefree, but seeing a fellow dragon so enraged upset him. He knows that Issei is hurting and wants to stop him, not harm him. Office shares his view. The dragon gods are having trouble subduing Issei because they have to hold back. However, because they are holding back, Issei isn't getting hurt and isn't stopping. If they want to stop then they'll have to risk hurting him, if that doesn't work then death is the worst case scenario. Office pushed Issei away. Great Red. Office, leave this to me. Office. He's my friend and thus it's my obligation to stop him. Great Red. You don't have the heart to hurt him, I'll handle it. Dreg, this will hurt your host. Dreg. Do what you must to save him please. Issei roars, Great Red grabs him in his massive claw, he exits the dimensional gap and enters Remnant, he ignores everyone as they look on. Yang. He's got Issei. Ruby. Should we follow them? Office appears next to them, she sheds a tear. Office. No. Azazel. Come back to your senses, kiddo. Great Red flies at incredible speeds, one doesn't expect a 300+ meter dragon to be so fast. He flies to the Grim Lands and uses more power to stop Issei's rampage. He drags him through the earth, created caverns dozens of meters deep, he throws Issei into it, a massive crater is formed that's big enough for the dragon god to sleep in, he picked Issei up and tail whips him through mountains, Issei's armor is falling apart, he's getting injured. Yang, Ruby and Office can't tell that Issei can't beat the dragon god. Great Red. I'm sorry young one, I've seen your dreams and your nightmares office and everyone need you, the real you to come back. He continues to break Issei's armor till there was nothing left. Issei didn't snap out of it, so Great Red continued his beatdown. The armor continues to manifest again as well as grow in size. Great Red. Forgive me. He opened his jaws and a small energy beam is fired. It went right through Issei. He stopped moving. The armor finally disappeared. The malicious bloodlust throughout Remnant is gone. The faunas can feel more relaxed. Issei starts to fall. Great Red caught him and flies him back to the others. He arrives in seconds with Issei in his fist. He lands on Atlas and opens his fist. Everyone sees Issei. He's bleeding from the gaping hole in his abdomen. rwby, JNPR, and everyone sees that he's knocking on death's door. Asia uses her sacred gear to heal him. Irina grabs the phoenix tears and pours several on him, as this is a truly fatal wound that needs to be healed immediately. They can finally see that he's turned into a dragon. The 12 run to him, but Seraphil pushed them away except for Asia as she's healing him. Seraphil. Don't you fucking dare. The others run to Issei, but the brother gods keep them at bay. Too many people, and only the healers need to come close. They heal the wound, then he takes a deep breath. He's opening his eyes and looks around. Irina. Issei. Issei. Huh. Irina. She smiles and immediately hugs him. Irina. We're so glad you're okay. Issei. Thanks wait we. He looks around and sees everyone and smiles. Issei. Hey everyone, welcome to the world of Remnant. He sees the 12 and his eyes glow. His smile is replaced with rage. He grips Ascalon tightly and gets up. He walks towards them. Boost boost boost. Irina. No, stop. Issei. Why are you backstabbers here? I told you that I renounce you, why did you all follow me? Riaz. Issei, we missed you, we didn't get a chance to talk, we just wanted to. Issei. Use me. He swings his sword so slowly, there's no power behind it and they dodged it easily. Surziches wanted to stop him, but Grafia didn't let him get closer. It's obvious that Issei doesn't have the strength to hit them, and that's the only reason they are currently alive. The backstabbers could feel the pure hatred and malice he has towards them. There is no love whatsoever. His yelling emphasizes that even more so. This hatred alone made their instincts force them dodge his sword. He truly hates them with every fiber of his beings. Issei. Lie to me. Another swing, no hits. Issei. Made me fall for you. He talks between swings. Issei. I know the truth now, Grimory, you knew I was Rainer's target, that Asia was a target, yet you let us die, also you could use us, you made Kaneko follow us and let me get impaled by her spears. After everything we went through, you all have, you made me fall for you girls. I wanted to have a family with you all like we always wanted. But clearly you never wanted it to have one with me. Akeno. It's not what you think. Issei. Shut up, you damned me, I can't take it anymore. Michael. Issei, please calm down. Issei. Riaz knew about Rainer and she let her kill me, she let Asia and I die so she could turn us and use us against Riser. All the time we spent together, the memories we made falling in love, it was all a lie. Huff. Riaz, Akeno, Kaneko, Ravel, Zenobia, Roswas, Asia, you all told me that you loved me and I didn't want to break your heart, so I loved you all. The green orbs appeared again, but this time they didn't tell him to kill them. Please calm down. You pushed yourself too much. We don't know what will happen if you don't calm down. Please. They can handle the rest. Issei didn't listen. Issei. Gaspar, Saji, Serg, Kiba, we were brother by all means, but blood, so why did you do it? Riser, I know we never got along at first, but we resolved our differences and look what happened. If you still hated me, then say it to my face. Everyone was quiet, the 12 needed to hear this and Issei had to let out his true feelings. Issei. All that I did was for you, I went from the weakest to strongest in record time for you, I endured light spears, taking in the dividing gear, fighting war maniacs, stray priests, the juggernaut drive when I thought Asia died again, and even the chaos brigade. The office. I should bring them, they can help. Issei. Ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha. Now he's laughing and everyone is worried. Issei. And here's the funny part, that's not even the worst of it. Everyone. He clutched his heart as the scales on his body lose color, it's the curse taking effect. Issei. Not only have I been damned by being turned into a devil because of Urias, but I can't even go to hell, there's no afterlife for me, I'll be stuck in the boosted gear forever just like the past hosts, we're forever bound to this because God of the Bible did this, we can only watch as the next poor soul is stuck with us, then the next, and cycle repeats. Even if we were still together and had a life, I couldn't be with anyone in the afterlife, everyone will have eternal life together and I can't be a part of that, I'd gladly go to hell instead because at least I will have paid for my sins, then I can go to heaven and see grandpa after everything I regret enduring for you liars. Hell can hold no painful surprises for me. But that's not where I'll end up, no matter how much good I do, I'll eventually kick the bucket and there's no afterlife, not for me nor the previous hosts, so what's the point? He closed his eyes. His heartbeat was at an all-time high. He placed Ascalon on his heart. Afa snapped her fingers as the others tried to stop him. 2 hands placed themselves on his shoulders and 2 on his sword. Issei opened his eyes and sees his parents. The others immediately stopped in their tracks. Mickey. Issei, no please. Boru. I'm not going to lose my one and only son. Issei. Mom. Dad. Mickey. Hi honey. Boru. You've grown up a lot. Issei drops the sword and hugs his parents. He starts crying as his emotional dam bursts open. He just couldn't hold himself together anymore. Issei. I'm sorry for leaving. Sniff, I'm sorry for not saying goodbye face to face. For being a pervert and everything. Sniff, I'm sorry for quitting school and running away. Sniff, I'm sorry. Mickey. It's okay sweetie, we're just happy to see that you're okay. Sniff. Boru. Just happy to see you again son. Issei's cries are low whimpers. It's heartbreaking to see the strongest red dragon emperor to break down like an infant. Only a parent's love can calm their child. Issei's heartbeat slows down to a normal pace. After a few minutes, Issei calms down. Surziches. Issei. He looks at Surziches with red puffy eyes. Surziches. I can't even begin to apologize for her actions, but I can free you from being her pawn. You can be a free devil. Issei. I want to be free from being a devil. I want to be me again, not what she made me into. Surziches. Issei. How's everything back home? Brafia. Dull without you, the children miss you. Milikus does too. Azazel. Princess Kauno wants to see her big brother again. Issei lets go of his parents. Issei. You know I'm not the person they got to know anymore. I know I'm not the same anymore. He takes a few deep breaths and blinks several times. Serafal. Issei. Are you feeling alright? Issei. Yeah, I just overdid it. He looks at the land around the city. It's unrecognizable. Issei. I did that. Did I kill anyone? Ironwood. Thankfully no. Issei. Good, thank you all for stopping me. Ali. You really went all out. Issei. It's over, what do we do about her? He gestured toward Salem, who bows to him out of fear. By God. We'll handle it, Red Dragon Emperor. We saw our mistakes and a lot of chaos followed. Issei. Okay, thank you. He takes more deep breaths, the scales lose color and he falls onto his knees. Issei. I don't feel so good. He collapses, goes limp and closes his eyes. Irina, his parents and others run to him. Boru. Son. Issei. I know it's finally happening. I don't want to be trapped in the gear IR. He clutches his chest, his heartbeat is irregular and extremely painful, he gasps for air. His mother held his hand. Mickey. Someone help him. Azazel and Michael ran to him. They realized upon sight that the curse of the dragon's fall is in its final stage. They couldn't utter a word as they see Issei go limp. He had the strength to even hold his mother's hand. Issei. I don't want to die. No, I don't want to be trapped. I don't want to go. Don't leave me. Azazel. We're right here, you're gonna live. Irina. We're never going to leave you, stay with us. He started to cry as he suddenly felt his heartbeat slow down. It continues to gradually lower its beat. His blood pressure dropped. Issei. It's getting cold. Ruby. We need a medic. Harriet immediately bolted to find a doctor and prepare a medical team. Cinder came over and uses her powers to release heat. Cinder. Can you feel it? He didn't say anything. Hurrah. Issei, please, say something. Issei. Guys, why did you stop taking? Azazel. No, he's losing his hearing. Greg. Issei, fight it, fight, don't you dare die on us, partner, can you hear me? Issei. It's getting dark. Mickey. No, Issei, we're right here. Issei. You guys promised you won't leave me. I can't see you or hear you. I'm scared it doesn't hurt. He lost his sight, all of his senses are leaving him. Asia uses twilight healing. She and those who betrayed Issei are completely breathless, pale as ash. They have no strength in their legs to continue standing. They sit in their knees and watch Issei die before their very eyes. Issei. Where are you, mom, dad, anyone? Irina held his hand as she starts to cry. Irina. We're right here. Her trembling voice fell on deaf ears. Issei's heart is now barely beating. He takes his last few breaths. Issei. I'm sorry. He slowly took his last breath. All eyes widen from emotions ranging from shock, disbelief and rage. Harriet came back all alone as she couldn't find anyone who could help. She could only watch with wide eyes. Mickey tried to wake up her son. Mickey. Open your eyes, honey. Boru. Come on, son. Irina. Issei, wake up please. Ruby. Everyone quiet down. Ruby places her ear on his chest. Everyone is quiet and muffling their cries. Ruby hears his heartbeat, but it's slowing down, then it stops. Ruby's eyes widen and begins CPR. Ruby. I don't hear a heartbeat, come on, Issei alive. Irina gives him mouth to mouth. Blake. Breath. Issei, come back to us. Greg. Open your eyes, partner. Ollie. Hayato, don't you dare die like this. Office has the idea to transfer some of her life force into him. She moves closer to him and a black serpent comes out of her hand and connects to Issei. Nora. Sniff, what are you doing? Office. trying to save my friend. Won't lose him. Yang places her ear on his chest when Office backs away. There's a very low heartbeat now, but that also stopped after a few seconds. Yang. No, Office, try again. She continues to give him chest compressions as Office continues to transfer more life force into him. Yang. Issei, I know you can hear me, come on please, 1 2 3, come on, you're too stubborn to die. Arena. Issei, I hope you can hear us, so listen please, we need you, sniff, we love you, all of us here and back home love you. I love you, so don't leave me. Office transfers some of her life force again. Asia continues the healing even though the wound is healed. Irina gives him mouth to mouth. This goes on for a few minutes and no response. Raven put her hand on Yang's shoulder. Yang. Let go, I can't stop, we can still save him. Raven pulled her off of Issei and hugged her. Yang. Let go mom, we can save him. Raven. I'm sorry sweetie, he's gone. Yang. Like hell he is. Ruby. Issei, sniff, please open your eyes. Asia stops healing and broke down. The 11 called to him but received silence. The death glares they received from nearly half of the people was just making them suffer even more so. Azazel. No, not like this. Surziches. Issei, I failed you again. Rafia. No, not him. Everyone started crying. Ty and Crow comfort Ruby as they pull her off of him. Weiss did the same to Blake as she cried her heart out. Great Red. I'm so sorry, it's the curse. Office. No, it was heartbreak that did this. Yang looked at the 12 and with her anger rising, she dons her balance breaker and prepared a dragon shot. She walked over to them and aimed, her entire body is shaking. Yang. You did this, you killed him, are you finally happy? You murdered him. She was seconds away from blowing them up when her legs gave out and her armor disappeared. She broke down again. Yang. Sniff, he's dead, Issei. Cinder wants to kill the 12, but she knows that Issei wouldn't want that, no matter how angry he is towards them. Boru. Issei, my son. All one could hear are cries which were immediately muffled by what they heard next, and it just broke everyone. They heard Mickey hyperventilate and then scream. Mickey. I. Boru. I. His mother and father wailed hysterically, they just lost her one and only son, her only child. One by one, almost all cried out. Office couldn't bear to lose her first friend so soon, she felt feelings she didn't recognize, the feeling of being weak and helpless to help a friend. Irina just lays next to him and covers him with her wings. She holds his hands and lays her head on his chest, his parents completely break down. Irina. Don't leave us, if we can't live without you. Dump. Irina. Huh. She listens to his heartbeat, she can feel his chest rise up slowly, he's breathing. Irina. He's alive. They all look towards him. Their crying ceased. Office immediately gives him more of her life force, and Great Red does the same. His heartbeat is still slow but better than before. He opens his eyes slowly and his grip tightened in Irina's hand, his parents didn't leave his side. He's taken to the medical bay and put in the ICU. Azazel went back to the Grigori in the DXD universe and got all the medical tech he can to keep Issei stable. He's unconscious again but borderline stable. Irina and many others took turns looking after him, including Volley. Great Red waited by the fields as he can't fit anywhere. Those who came through the portal saw him and noped the buck out of there. Team SSSN and CFEY didn't let fear get the best of them and went right up to the dragon. Great Red. Issei is in the medical bay. Velvet. What? Great Red. Go to him. They're onto the medical bay. Office asked for Yusaka and Kuroka to help heal Issei using sage magic, as they are masters of it. Kuroka barely held it together and she and Yusaka did their best. This was a very long couple of days. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown in left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day, bye.